Where are you from again? Where are you from? Okay. Yeah, I like know of, but never been. I'm from. I'm born here, but I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, yeah. I say like really in Nightdale, like a town, like it's like 10 minutes out. Like Wendell, Zebulon area, it's like 10 minutes out. Right out. It's like right in the country a little. Mhm. Here, take this. But not travel. He said he needed overnight. He said he needed on the overnight shipment. Overnight shipment. Mm-mm-mm. Hey, hey, yo, Ant, play that Game of Thrones shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Play that King Ice shit, man.
That King Ice shit, man. Get that King Ice shit, man, going. Let's get that King Ice shit going, man. While we got King Mike on the motherfucking deck, on deck before his motherfucking wife get home, man. Get that King Ice shit, man. Where we going at with it, man? Get that King Ice shit. Welcome. Good morning, Ice Man. We're getting the Ice King on. Ice fucking King. Ice fucking King. Oh, good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam.
Ant is a fool.
Ah, that's that shit. That's that spook shit, boy. That's that shit that get you right. Shit that get you ready to motherfucking rock. It's that shit that get you ready to go, cuz. This that shit right here, man. This feels like the end of something new coming. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, let's fucking get to it. Couldn't be better. Listen, Sunday, we at the end of February. You know what I'm saying? The shortest month in the motherfucking history of months during the Black History Month is February. These motherfuckers said, alright, we'll recognize y'all black motherfuckers in the shortest month of the fucking calendar year. Give them motherfuckers February. Nah, don't get them shit. Don't get them motherfuckers nothing. Nah, we gotta give these motherfuckers something. Give them February. I'd rather give them February than 40 acres and a mule. Fuck them. Don't give them shit. Give them February. Well, you know Martin Luther King said, we shall be free. Voice and lift every voice and sing. Mike said, give them February.
Fucking
Mike said, give him February. Fuck it. Give him February. What's in February? Man, listen. If you give them February, that'll shut them black asses the fuck up. They get something and they don't realize till later on when one of them little smart motherfuckers realize it. We just gave them February. Never worry, February. Nah, but it's the end of February, man. The fastest month. That shit's almost over with. And what's good about February is that in March, the combine hit. One of my favorite times of football. When them college boys become men. When them college kids become NFL men. You know what I'm talking about? Shit going on right now. Let's get our little plugs in right now. And we know. So let's just get to it, man, as we starting to get guys on. Yeah, you see us in practice mode. We already ready. It's Sunday. You already know. Let's get to it. You know, Mike up early as hell doing college motherfucking reviews. He up early busting moves and shit. Uh-oh. Hollywood Sean, you off them
Yes,
yerks
fellas.
today?
Yes, fellas. If you are not in the offs, please start your GMing now. This is
Okay,
the
got him. Butt naked.
annual. This is the annual
Off them
message
yerks today. Who
for the
off them yerks
league.
today? You? Hollywood? Hollywood off the yiggities?
Public service announcement.
Public service announcement. This is your annual fucking purge.
This is your public service announcement to all the teams thinking that the league is done after RDL. It is not. It is going off into Game of Thrones. This league is staying Game of Thrones.
Public service announcements to all you fucking idiots.
There is no new teams, no new teams, no new teams, no. You go straight from your team now.
He said I was off the perks when I was making them noises to my fuck out here, Hollywood, Detroit Wood, famous what do you name his players? All actors, nigga. Right? Famous actor ass naming. You was off the motherfucking perks when you was naming motherfucking your players. You was motherfucking sniffing Yowder.
Wesley Snipes and shit. What the hell is going on?
It's like, roll that dollar bill up, sweetheart. Give me that fucking mirror. And throw me that baggie. Let's get to it. My nigga, I fucked with you. I already know, you heard? Alright, man. Super plugs. Nothing but super plugs. If you have paid your $20 for Real Draft, screenshot your payment, send it to me if you're looking to go into Real Draft with $60 million in cap space. Those that sent it already, I appreciate you. I salute you. But there's a lot more guys that paid that didn't motherfucking send their copy yet to me. And I promise you, I will not chase you down, and you will not be able to come to me and say, yo, bro, can I get my 60 million? I had paid. You know what I mean? Pretty much it's going down like this. You got 2 days until the AFC and NFC championship week arrives. When we advance it in, nothing's doing. You know what I'm talking about? After that, nothing's doing. Trust what I'm telling you. If you don't have that screenshot in of your payment by the NFC and AFC championship game, you will not get that 60 million. Remember I said it first. You heard me say it already. You will not get that 60 million. That's a free 60 million where you can come in and re-sign all shit you need and shit like that. You can live like some of these guys that buy packages to keep their bread right during the off season. You know what I'm talking about? He said trying to sling a crack rock for some money. Let's go. Alright, man. Here we go. God damn. If you off them yerks every day, you got $20, motherfucker, knock it off.
Can you show these niggas again how to make sure you can re-sign your players even in the playoffs? It is week 1. Public service announcement of the
Public service announcement. If you are not playing football the rest of this season because your regular season ended last night at week 18, you are supposed to do this. Go onto your roster.
Not wait for
Manage rosters. Go all the way down to where you see re-sign players. And get your re-sign on. From right here, you can do it right the fuck now. Okay? You can do it right the fuck
for the
now.
Next 3 weeks. We will not wait 4 weeks. The Super Bowl.
So when it's time to go to this stage, don't think we're giving y'all 4 hours to get shit done and all that, when you should be already having it done already. So for you guys that signed a bunch of free agents after the draft was over and shit like that, those guys are going to be sitting in there waiting to be signed or waiting to be cut, however you want to do it, or just leaving them there until they leave anyway because they don't have no type of contract or no obligations to your team anymore. What else right now? Alright, Max, I need that public service announcement. This is a public service announcement while the Ice King is coming. Alright, for those that got, that's interested in the gifts, the guys that just hop on and watch my show just to get a gift. Well, here we go. This is what happened last night. Max, take the floor. It's all you, buddy.
Okay, so week 18. We have, hear me out, listen. Bucks, Cowboys, Browns, Seahawks, Bears, Rams, Giants, Saints, Vikings, Packers, Steelers, Lions, Colts, Ravens, Eagles, Broncos, Cards, Dolphins, apostrophe. We will come back to that. Video proof from last night's video. 49ers, star. We'll come back to that. Seahawks, Raiders, Vikings, Cowboys, Bucks, Giants, Ravens, Saints, Titans, Browns, King Madden. Also include Raiders in Week 18. My apologies. Those are from last night's game to last night's video. The gift for both of those is a restructure. Send me, Max, Giants coach. Yes, you know who the hell I am. Send me the 2 players you are restructuring. It's a different type of restructure though. We are taking original contract down to the beginning. So if you had somebody a 4-year and they're on their 3rd year out of their 4th year, they will be reset back down to 1, giving you a fresh, essential 4 years. Send me those players, not Ant, not Mike, not Guns, not Antonio, the Giants. Those 2 names of those players, and you are good. Continue. The pick'ems. Don't bother me or Ant about the pick'ems. The pick'ems is a 2-part gift for being on and for picking. The pick has to be right though, so we have to obviously wait and see until those games are all the way done, and then we will 2-part that, and Ant will do that. That is not going to be a gift that y'all really give to him. That is going to be Ant gift because it involves, if I'm correct, it involves +2/+2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason right there, y'all already know, y'all do not get to name those. That is going to, you know what I'm saying? That is going to come from the
For
guru.
y'all OP motherfuckers, you know what I'm talking about?
This is going to come from the guru. So, that'll just be a thank you, Ant. And, that'll be what that is.
I'm a +2/+2 niggas kickers. Gonna be mad as hell, like, man, what the fuck? Hey, the +2/+2 for being on the video last night is a me give out gift too.
Oh yeah.
So the only thing you get to choose is the reset contract 2 guys. If you played Week 18 and was on the show last night, you'll get 2 reset contracts.
That's the +2/+2 I meant, not the 2-part. You didn't say what it was yet. The +2 I meant is the second part of people watching the video. You got the restructure and the +2/+2, but you only are picking your restructure. I repeat that. You are only picking your restructure. So if you know how to GM, you know how to GM. That's it for me. Signing off.
Signing off. Ice King. Out. Now let's get to the goodies. Now last night it was late, so we got to go over some stuff. But it was late. And the guys that was up rocking with me, I appreciate y'all. That's why I'm showing y'all love today. But we also, early morning breakfast club. This is how we do what we do, man. Real Draft is on its way around a motherfucking corner. And at the end of the day, that means Game of Thrones 3 will go in the folder until Madden 23 come out. And then we bring out Game of Thrones 4. At the same time, we're going to bring out King Madden. That'll come out too, right? Because King Madden is almost out the way too. I'm going right into motherfucking Madden franchise Junkies 3, bitch. And let's get to it. Now, with that being said, man, the awards show was kind of shitty last night because it was a late night situation right now. Now, we got to get back into that shit, man. We got to go view weekly awards. And we got to talk about the guys that won these awards and, what's going on with these players and how much of an impact these guys were actually through the whole season. We're going to go over stats. We're going to go over who had the number one offense, number 1 defense, things like that as a team. We got a lot to get to, man. It's early in the morning. Let's get to it, man. Y'all rocking with me on a Sunday. See, this is a mute Sunday. What I mean is this ain't one of those Sundays where you're waiting for the NFL playoffs to happen. You're not even waiting for basketball practice to happen. I mean, real games to happen. So is Real Draft not until after the Combine March 7th. Yes, sir. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have to follow the Combine for sure. Make that, because the Combine is a part of our league. We actually do shows and things like that and talk about the players that had great Combines and things like that. It's going to be fun. Y'all going to be in some real life shit that y'all ain't never seen before if you're new to it. We got some guys that have been around, came at the end of Real Draft, but wasn't there for the beginning to see how things go. we're going to really get into depth a lot of things we do, man. It's fun. It's very fun, man. It's us. It's the NFL. Virtual Madden. I mean, virtual NFL. The life we live. You know what I'm talking about? So you got to be all the way a part of our reality show, our reality story. I got the green screen out now, just waiting for her to teach me how to work that motherfucker, and it is on. Imagine me doing shows where I'm talking about your game and the highlights is playing behind that bitch. Can't get no better than that. Alright, so Max, you kind of was dozing off last night in the middle of the motherfucking awards and shit like that. So we going get to weekly awards. We won them weekly awards of last week. Kyler Murray went crazy in the computer game. Lamar went crazy in the computer game. Cumberland went crazy. This pussy had 4 sacks. Oh my God. Reyes, the safety, 7 tackles, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown. It starts after this offseason. Yes, sure. Sure, but it'll be slowed down to match the combine situation as well. So if you are not in my 48-hour league and you're looking for a team to join in my 48-hour league, if you think, the 24-hour league is off the hook and fun, come join the 48. You're going to have fun in that too, because we're over there. It's ran by me. It's the Madden Franchise Junkie brand. It's the Madden Franchise Junkies crew. Come holla at us right now. Alright, so let's get out of this weekly shit. Max.
Sir.
Joe Judge won a fucking another Coach of the Year award, bro.
Yes, sir. Our 4th.
Say that again?
Our 4th. You feel me?
Hey, man, at this point, is he the best coach in the NFL?
I would think so. I think it's very much a trusted process. I think guys go there and, they enjoy going there and they get, what they get out of it. Whether they don't peak there, they get what they need out of it and they go peak somewhere else. Like many of the guys we've sent off, or the guys that stay there, they're happy within the organization and we get shit done, set the trend for sometimes in the league. I don't think we'll get a lot of credit for that, but I view us as league trendsetters in a lot of ways.
All right, Hollywood, Sean, if you serious about the 48-hour league, holla at Coach Mike, Irish Mike Tillman. Our coach in the Game of Thrones league. Holla at him. He'll get everything set up for you so you can come join. I appreciate that. We definitely would like for you to be over there. Shit real over there. I love my team over there. It's not way off. It's what we in like season 3. So it's still young. It's still early. Nice little situation. So come join that thing. So Joe Judge won his 4th. Is Joe Judge going to be the head coach of this team next year, though? Like we had rumblings that they like Ryan Day so much that he might be the new head coach, OC. That's the OC over there for the Giants. So how does Joe Judge? And think about this: it's a perfect time where the Chiefs are looking for a head coach right now. Possibly the Jets are going to be looking for a head coach, right? So we're looking for some teams that's looking for head coaches right now. Could Joe Judge be the hottest coach on a that's out there right now, or he's going to hold it down and stay in New York, man?
I think time will tell. I think if they are short of that NFC Championship, where they haven't went since about the 2nd season, I fear that it could be Judge's last go around. Despite the Coach of the Year thing, I think it's a high standard that he set because of the Coach of the Year so much that they're kind of like, well, what, where else is it at? Where's the cap?
But you see how you see what your owner set with the goal he set. He didn't say go to the Super Bowl or you're fired. He recognized how good of a coach he's been for this New York Giants team. He recognizes how dominant he's been in the NFC East. And he gave him a goal to reach, but he didn't make it an unreachable goal.
The NFC Championship is very much a gut check after a couple of seasons, and I think that's where you get real with like, you're a great coach, but are you the coach to push us over the top? And that's just
right.
Never for long, not for long league, and that's just the way it is. It's still a business first, and I think it's just a respect thing, honestly.
And then he's offered a Belichick tree, so when they offer that tree, they get extra privileges anyway and shit. Motherfuckers getting text messages before they even got jobs, all type of shit. Nothing about they over there bullshit right now. Let's get to this year's MVP, 2027 annual awards. We're talking about 2027. 6 years later. 6 years later.
Should have been a receiver.
He should have been a running back, coach.
He
can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball in a wide open lake if the lake was 5 feet in front of him, coach. He's not smart. He can't process plays,
He's too
coach.
little. He's too little.
He's 6'3", but he's too little, coach, to play quarterback. I think he'll make a living like that other guy did out there from Ohio State and went to the quarterback, was from quarterback to wide receiver, and he was able to play 8 years in the NFL, coach. He's not better than none of the quarterbacks that was coming out in his draft class, coach. He wasn't better than Baker Mayfield, coach. Josh Allen, coach. Josh Rosen, coach. Sam Darnold, coach. He wasn't better than none of those guys, coach. All he did was win the Heisman. All he did was start as a freshman. All he did was throw 65% complete 65% of his passes. All he did was throw a better deep ball than any of those quarterbacks that was in the league with him, that was in college at the time as him. All he did was run a pro style offense at the same time, had a little bit of that college twist to it. His head coach coached the Atlanta Falcons for years. He was a really, really proven coach in the NFL. So if you get a NFL coach coming down to the college ranks, you don't think they're gonna have NFL, some type of NFL pedigree around them and shit like that. So let's go back to it, coach. We don't know why we don't like this quarterback. All he do is win, coach. All he did was do not this. But guess what, man? This award, Max, couldn't come at a better time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think honestly, it coming this season is low key better. Even though Lamar was having a crazy season the year that Hits Israel stole it from him.
Stole it from me.
I think it's
Stole it from
I think this year means so much more as the timing. Timing is everything, you know. That's what they say sometimes, and I think this right here is big for Lamar's timing and his career, for the Ravens organization, and just for maybe for guys to recognize that age don't really, you know, age isn't always a telltale factor like that. You know, Lamar is pushing 30, 31, whatever the hell he's pushing, and he's at an MVP caliber right now.
This is hard work and dedication, man. This is a guy that, you know, is a Raven. He bleeds Ravens. He bleeds purple and black, man. The moment the Ravens drafted him, he made a commitment to them, and he's sticking by it. And he still has time to better say what he exactly said to those guys the moment he was drafted. And Deion Sanders asked him that question, man. In my opinion, you know, this was a situation where, you know, he got drafted by the perfect team, right? Not only did he get drafted by the perfect team, they had no problem with, instead of forcing a quarterback to come into your system and play your system that doesn't, you know, that doesn't match up to a quarterback like him, they went and put a system around him. They built that system around him. And to do that, right? To do that, right? You gotta really feel comfortable, right? You gotta really trust in this quarterback, because that means you things you've been doing. It's the thing, you go from a Joe Flacco, who was a straight pocket pass gunslinger, right, to being able to move the offense around in a way where it fit this type of quarterback you got. And let's think about it. Even when Joe Flacco was there, right, when Joe Flacco was in the building, and they won a Super Bowl in 2012, the last year they won a Super Bowl, right? What you're going to see is this. You saw that team was still a defensive-based team. There wasn't an offensive team that won the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco was lights out, right? He was lights out in the playoffs, right? But this team was really led by that defense, and it's been that way since, you know, Ray Lewis got there. Since the 2000, I think it was 2001 or 2000, they won the Super Bowl when they beat the New York Giants in the bowl, right? It was led by a defensive player. So when you thought of Baltimore, you thought of Baltimore and their defense. Am I correct, Max, or am I, you know, not saying the right things right now?
Nah, you're speaking facts. Once you brought in even the Joe Flacco, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're a guy that everybody, let's be real. If you like football, it's like you're either a Steelers fan or you're like a Ravens fan at some point. Like, you might not be a diehard, but like those are two teams in football. You're like, yeah, like you respect or appreciate one of them. And you know your shit about the Ravens, but the way you've adapted and taken in Marmar, this is all due to hard work and just knowing how your player you know, knowing real football, but knowing the type of player you got, bro. And I think that's just the biggest thing. I don't think 28 out of 32 users could really like suffice the MVP caliber season with Lamar Jackson. They might think it sound good, but half of these, 3/4 of these guys is gonna turn Lamar into a damn runner, and that's just facts, bro. So
when that pick was made, the culture in Baltimore changed. Simple as that. This team went from a defensive-led team that everything, the face of their team was defense, to everything shifted to this guy. The moment they drafted him and put a plan together for this kid, and you saw that where Joe Flacco and Harbaugh and them all their jobs was on the line, right? And you know, Flacco was the guy there. They paid him big time QB money because he won a Super Bowl that I think he won. He did play well that year in those playoffs, right? But he flat out won that because of that Baltimore Ravens defense. Simple as that. It don't go no further than that.
He just had the respect that was needed throughout Baltimore. That, you know, you were never going to try to discredit Joe. And still to this day, Joe is respected in the Baltimore atmosphere. Like,
Ozzie Newsome made this pick. This was one of his last picks, right? One of his last picks he made.
I think so, yeah.
And you saw the flat out. Give me a second.
I would say, bro,
you saw the fire in his eyes.
Yeah, the same way that like a Saquon.
You saw the fire in his eyes.
In New York, you know, the same.
That's what you're looking for.
The same way that Saquon was highly rated in New York.
Do you think any of us will
who
look
else
back
was
in our
highly
lives and
rated
look like
early out? Motherfucking Cam Newton. Cam Newton was raved. Saquon was raved to change the culture. There's a couple guys I'm missing that was, you know, as soon as they got drafted, they were expected to. They were hot commodities, but they weren't. I feel like Lamar wasn't expected to change culture, but he did just naturally as hell. Like, everybody saw it early once he started showing, you know, his capabilities, and then the playoff run that he had to go put on and be a part of. I just think that if you knew, you knew. Like, if you knew football, you knew, like, oh, that kid's got something special. If you was a hater, you was a hater flat out, and it was going to show. But if you knew football and you knew, like, what that meant to the Ravens organization, for them to get that type of love and star power out of something that wasn't defense and still have the type of defense that they had, bro, it's just like, damn, they really got something special going on there. Like it's not the same feeling as like the Pat Mahomes thing. Like, you know, he came in with, you know, under a wing, and stardom came like after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Marmar's stardom came from doubters, and I think MVP. Man,
no, see, like to really tell the whole story is like this man sat in, like, we seen quarterbacks sit in the green room, right? Guys like Aaron Rodgers that he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback and have a Super Bowl under his belt. Then you seen guys that should have been sitting in that motherfucking room, sitting in that room, like a Brady Quinn for the Browns, Johnny Manziel for the Browns, some guys that to me I think deserve to be there. But even those guys got better praise than Lamar Jackson. Let's just keep it 100. I didn't see this as much. It was almost like they like these so-called experts when it comes down to when it comes down to making these guys that make money on what's the word I'm looking for? The guys that make money on talking about college guys coming out and they make their assessments. They're supposed to be experts, you know, the Mel Kipers and these guys that get down there everything fucking wrong, but they still getting paid to tell us who's the best players and who should go first and all that stuff. I don't think there was more hate around the fact that around Lamar Jackson than I just didn't see it. Right, more hate. It was so much negativity with this kid. Oh, he's a 6th rounder. He shouldn't. You know, if he don't switch positions, he's gonna go somewhere where he can learn how to play receiver. And if he is a quarterback and he goes to a team to play quarterback, he should be sitting for a couple of years. But this is what he told Dion.
What could you have done differently that you could have gotten out of that room quicker and got drafted earlier? Chill today.
I'm looking forward to being a Raven.
What are they getting?
Everything out of me. They gonna get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that. Believe that.
Ozzy, man, I love you, man. Ozzy, you know I love you.
You know why Deion saying that to Ozzy? Because he know he was supposed to come up out of there. But that man said they're going to get everything out of me. They're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Now, he's been to it 3 times, right? In Game of Thrones. He's been to one. He hasn't won it yet. But his clock isn't over. His clock's ticking, but it's not over. Think about everything he's been through right now, man. This guy is, you know, 1 loss away from being called the Buffalo Bills of this era, of the Millennium era, right? He also got a quarterback, got traded to this team that was a top 10 pick, got traded and brought in a building, and yet he still stood right in front of that and showed this team that he's the leader of this football team and the face of this football team and the face of Baltimore completely. And all he did was stand up to it, man. He didn't pout, ask for a trade, get up out of there, don't want to be a part of them no more because they drafted a player. In fact, he embraced that shit and he took on a role as a mentor to that quarterback as well, all in the same breath, how he went out there and showed that this team belongs to him. And he might be playing the best football he's ever played since 21 right now. Like, just because he won the MVP, I think he had plenty of MVP seasons as a quarterback, but we had some guys that stood out and did some things that was like, wait a minute, you just can't deny a Ronald Jones 3 years in a row. You can't deny what it hits Israel did. I mean, let's talk about that for a second, Max. The battle between Lamar Jackson and Hits Israel 2 years ago, all the way down to the stretch, and it came down to week 18, man. When everybody and their mama had Lamar winning that thing, and that kid came out. Just talk about the feeling of that year, being on headset with me, counting down the race yourself. Like, yeah, Lamar gonna get it, about to get his first one right now, and it then hits Israel, holds the trophy up.
Man, I mean, let's first off, let me be frank. Ronald Jones' span of his MVP might have been, since I've been in the league, one of the greatest spans of MVP-ness. It brings me back to MC8 days. Like, it's very it's just a homage thing. I'm gracious because he was in the NFC, so his age was like always a thing I always looked at. But Hits Israel, I don't think that'll be the first. I don't think that'll be the first and last. I think that was the first time we'll see the MVP. I think he'll come back around eventually before his reign of his career is over. But I mean, I think Marmar's is, I would say it's about the 3rd most special MVPs. Hits Israel's MVP season was wild as hell, and then Ronald Jones winning his 3rd one in a row, I think just has to get the homage that it deserves. If I was to really put them in an order, I might put Hits Israel's that one season at the number 1 MVP season, though, because of how wild his season was. But I mean, Lamar's quarterback season, this is just.
I think you put in perspective what Hits Israel did that year is he not only rushed for 2,000 yards, he caught the ball out the backfield in a very explosive offense that pretty much put the. You got to think about it. They're coming as a rookie and the team put their entire faith behind you,
and
just
the rookie
to
part
sit
is
you
definitely
down.
Why I'm adding creds to it too, yeah.
Right, just to sit you down in the playoffs. Like, you understand how much control you have to have over your team and player as a coach to be able to do that. Do you know, like, what does the fans think when they say, wait, Tyson Williams is starting running back, he didn't play all year? The hell? And the playoffs, right? And they go on and win the Super Bowl that year. And then to follow it up, you saw, Hits Israel, they moved on for Tyson Williams, and Hits was the guy, and you saw what he did in his playoff run. In his playoff run last year with fucking 17 touchdowns throughout the playoffs. But the race came down to the last game. The 49ers Cardinals game was the deciding factor, and Hits did some things in that game where you knew the coaches was behind him. They said, oh, you want to win this award, we're going to put, the whole team was pretty much behind letting him do everything possible to win that award, and they showed it. And he stuck with. They let him go crazy in that game against the 49ers, and he won that award. Um, just me knowing my quarterback, that kind of that's what I was trying to ask you. That broke me. You could tell, right? Just being in chat with me, how I felt about losing that MVP battle that year, and how like frustrating I was, that we lost it. You know what I'm saying? And then to follow it up the next year, it was like my conversation was it's going to be impossible for me to match what I did and 2 years ago to win the MVP and just to lose it to a diaper dandy. And then the very next year, another diaper dandy comes out and wins the award. And we made a decision that we didn't care about the award until we won the award. And when we won the award, we completely care about it, and we think about the hard work and everything he put in into winning this award. To be honest with you, you look at what Lamar's doing in his career. I couldn't ask for a better quarterback. Although having this type of quarterback is challenging because it can get me in trouble at times. I think it's really challenging, and if you play with him in any leagues, if you play with him the right way, you can be very successful. But if you play with him the right way, you have to know that he's one of the most inaccurate quarterbacks ever made on Madden, bro. Flat out, it doesn't matter, what traits you put on him, where you gonna go with it. He is inaccurate because the game made him that way. But we're looking at a guy with 45,645 yards, 514 touchdowns, 67% on his career completion percentage right now. About 276.6 yards a game. But 514 touchdowns to 206 INTs. It's very special, but then you gotta look at as a running back what he have done. I mean, this guy is over 10,000 yards as a running back, 11,524, 118 rushing touchdowns. You would like to clear that 90 fumbles thing, but that's just another thing that the game does to him to slow him down. They make him a heavy fumbler. But we're looking at a guy that has over 11,000 rushing yards and close to 50,000 passing yards. And before his career is over, I think he'll touch that 50,000. And I think he'll touch somewhere between 12 to 15,000 yards rushing right now. So yes, it was very important to me what he did. And we're going to look at the numbers of what he did this year to win the MVP. So 6,657 passing yards. That put him third in the league in passing yards. 81 touchdowns. That put him second in the league in passing touchdowns behind Kyler Murray, another dual threat quarterback. Only 22 interceptions, 71% completion percentage, 391.6 yards a game. He has 130.3 QB rating, average of 16.9 yards a play. In the run game, he's just as dangerous. 131 carries for 1386. He got better rushing numbers than half the running backs in the league. 10.6 yards on the average, 18 touchdowns.
You said 1386.
Mm-hmm.
Total. This nigga had an 8,000 yard season.
Total yards together, right? 8,000 yards.
8,043 yards, 8,050 yard season. I ain't gonna lie, there's offenses that don't touch 8,000 yards.
And then over 100 touchdowns.
Yeah. What was it? 80, 81?
81 and 18.
Yeah. Literally right at 99, 100 touchdowns. Fuck that. 100 touchdowns.
100 of them things.
Shot.
Right at 100. Shit crazy. He balled out, man. And you're doing it in a year where, again, in a league where you had the Ronald Joneses of the league that scores 50 touchdowns a year on the ground. You're doing it in a year where Kyler Murray has won over 100 touchdowns more than once in his career. You're doing these things where it's hard to win awards with the way we got guys in this league. Guys play and they do really well with their players. So, it's multiple guys that can absolutely win awards. And especially if some of these guys that don't play the computer could put themselves in the same situation and win an award in a heartbeat. But I'm taking time out on this segment to talk about my MVP run because, be honest with you, this is the first MVP I've ever had with Lamar, playing with Lamar since 21. So I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what he accomplished, for what I was able to accomplish with him, because I'm doing something most guys wouldn't do, picking up the sticks and playing with Lamar Jackson. And I'm like kind of playing with him like he plays in real life, literally running those type of plays, putting him in those situations where we're running Greg Roman's offense. And as he gets older and better and wiser behind the behind the center, we open up the pro style passing game along with it. So I'm completely happy with what Lamar did on that award race, man. So let's continue as we go to the MVP. We're going to talk about other players and what they did in their awards right now. So I don't have to stay long on the Offensive Player of the Year. Lamar Jackson in the AFC wins that. When we go to the NFC, though, Max, Kyler Murray wins it again. How many of these has Kyler Murray won? Let's go take a look at Kyler Murray's trophy case.
I think this is like his fifth. Don't move. I'll do it. This is like
you got it? All right, cool.
Oh no, Offensive Player of the Year. It might be like his third.
You know where to go to see it?
Yeah. I'm in the rosters. I'm about to go to his. Look at Kyler, always in the way and shit.
Always in the way.
Let me look. Awards. Okay, not Player of the Week. Actually, 2024 Player of the Year won, and then this year Player of the Year. Okay, only has two.
How many you won?
Yes, this would be his second Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year.
All right, so he got two of them in the bag right now.
Yeah, this would be his second.
And it's crazy because Kyler, that just tells you, what was happening over there in the NFC with Ronald Jones at the time, because, Ronald Jones getting those MVPs also was winning Offensive Player of the Year too. For Kyler Murray to be throwing 80, it's almost like he throw 80 touchdowns a year, period. Because he's always somewhere between 80 and 100. All right, give me a second. Look, and Kyler Murray wins Offensive Player of the Year in a year where you had a kid, Chadwick Boseman, who went over 3,000 yards as a receiver. So these are things we're going to talk about, right? So we stay in the NFC. All right, cool. All right, so now we go to the Defense Award, and you got Devon White right now, man. Max, Devon White, bro. I dubbed him the user. Do you feel like I gave him a great nickname?
He's definitely the user. I would definitely dub him the user. It's just because Devon White's a dog, but when he's getting used by the coach that's using him, it's just like, I'm saying, when Craig, the Bucks coach, they use it, it just plays so much different. So, what I'm saying? I got to dub him the user.
But see, what happens is you get Devon White when you first start your league. Devon White's one of the faster linebackers in the league, right? So you get the win there. But when you're in my league, as the draft classes start to come out, you start to see that there are guys that's going to come out with that type of speed. And then it comes to a point where if you don't get a linebacker with 90 speed, 90 excel or above, you're not getting a good linebacker at times, right? And guys forget these 88s and 89s can become 90s and 90s and above, right? But Devon White has stood the test of time. Period. Point blank period, right? So what I do is we go look at a guy like Devon White, we go to the Bucks roster, and we look at, from 21 to now what he has done, right? And the first thing I want to do is, while I'm looking for him right now, I want to look at his trophy case. You look at what he's done, through his career and what type of accolades does he have at the middle linebacker. We got nicknames for guys that guys put up. When they put in work, they deserve and earn names. So Devon White was the 5th overall pick in 2019. He has 2 Pro Bowl appearances right now. But he has NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and that's it. No hardware for winning, Player of the Years, anything like that. So this is his first Defensive Player of the Year award. Then you go look at what he's done in his career since 21. Right, you're looking at a guy that had 105 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 picks in his first year. Then you start to look at, his range and what he can do as far as getting to the running backs, making tackles, being all over the field, the man in the middle, and the user
Interceptions
starts to
go up
ball out.
tremendously.
19 tackle for losses, 10 INTs. And you start to see the interceptions go completely up. This is when you know he had a true handle of his player. And this is the moment where we started to dub him the user. 89, 16, 2.5 sacks, 12. He had 101 tackles in 2024, 4.5 sacks. He had 16 tackle for losses, 7 INTs. And this is from middle linebacker. So to get those tackle for losses, as a user, you're using him, you're doing this yourself. That means you catching running backs in the backfield. You're doing this yourself, right? Because you're controlling him. That's why we call him the user. 110, 16, and 8. He comes out last year, 84 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 13 INTs last year. Follows that up right now when we finish the regular season, 94 tackles, 26 tackles for losses. Look at that number. From middle linebacker, this man has 26 tackle for losses and 13 interceptions. Why aren't we looking at him as the best linebacker in the league?
Um,
Can he make a case for it?
he definitely can. I just feel like it's preference. I think guys still run into the fear of Isaiah Simmons and what he put on for the past other couple of seasons too. It was just like it's just an overwhelming thing. But I mean, you definitely could dub him the best linebacker. He's got the credentials for it.
He ages like fine wine, man. The older he get, the better he get. Come on, bro. 2 years in a row, 13 INTs right now. That's huge. So,
28, yes, he still got some push in him a little bit.
in 7 seasons, right? In 7 seasons, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of 7 seasons were double-digit INTs. It's pretty special, bro. I want to see how many forced fumbles he has in his career as well. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 total for forced fumbles, touchdowns. 4, 8, 10, 11 touchdowns returned as a defensive middle linebacker, bro. That's special. And well deserving of what he did this year. Well deserving of this award. Shout out to Devon White, who will be in this playoff game after advance because he's sitting home waiting for his next opponent. Alright, so in the AFC, your Defensive Player of the Year goes to Steve Israel. Now, 2 drafts ago, 2 seasons ago, this is his second year, he was the number 1 overall pick for the Baltimore Ravens. When you think of a Steve Israel winning this award this year, how can a cornerback that's on a heavy loaded cornerback where his cousin AI is possibly the best corner in the league, you get a Steve Israel to win defensive player of the year? Like, why is he having a great year this year?
I just think because of that reason alone, with AI being number 1, a lot of guys look away from AI's side, so it's just easy. It's just easy for it's easier on Steve to make plays. The pressure is less on him. I think also between that and the versatility that he has because of AI being such a true lockdown, they're able to do a lot more with Steve.
Yeah, his range is different. He can play the slot. He does a really good job. And we're going to show you why he's the defensive MVP of defensive player of the year. Of the AFC this year. But before we get to that, let's do that. Let's go. We just showed you what Devin Bush did in his career for 7 seasons right now. And I asked the question, why aren't we saying he's the best linebacker, middle linebacker in the league, right? We showed you his career. So let's go look at the guy who you brought up. You said people is the fear factor of Isaiah Simmons. So let's talk about this. If you look at Isaiah Simmons, he could have possibly won this award.
Isaiah's a contender every year.
We're looking at 126 tackles, 12 tackles for losses. He had a sack and a half and 12 interceptions. The one thing about Isaiah, though, he takes shit to the crib. So 2, 4, how many we say? We saw 11 out of Bush in 7 years. Let's see what Isaiah did. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11. So he got one more. They tied up. They both got 11 picks to the crib. Right? They both got 11 picks to the crib, but when you look at Isaiah Simmons and you look at, the career of Isaiah Simmons, here we go. Let's dig into it. All right, so since 2021, he has 11 picks. He got 6. He said Isaiah Simmons got 20. Got 20 what? Interceptions to the crib?
Go check. No way.
He
Oh my
do. Oh
god.
my God.
First off, he has 100 tackles a season almost every season.
Yo, he do got 20 return INTs. Look, 7, 11, 15, 17, 19, 20. Got 20 to the crib. Yeah,
I think his the name man in the middle kind of gives you the indication that he really is.
He is the man in the middle, bro. And I think do we have to go any further to see why he's the best middle linebacker in the league? He haven't had a season under 100 tackles. I mean, these are numbers: 128, 140, 128, 126, 125, 129,
He
104.
only has one season under double-digit picks.
We call Devin Bush the user, but let's not get it fucked up. Isaiah Simmons is a user as well, but we dubbed him the middleman, the man in the middle. He's the middleman of the league. Simple as that, man. He holds shit down. So I mean, you're looking at these numbers. Tackle for losses has been double digits every year as well. So, except for 20. Look, in 22.
The 22 years is like worst year with 6 tackles for loss and 4 picks, but he still had 128 tackles. Like, this is funny as shit. Cause what the fuck? Oh man.
And it'll take Falk to get on here and say, "Nah, don't run by that conversation that fast. Come back to it. Talk about it." All right, so I agree, man. Who else doesn't agree with me that this is the man in the middle? He's the middle man. He's the best linebacker in the league for sure. Is he the best linebacker in the league or the best middle linebacker in the league? I think best middle.
Yeah.
You got some outside guys that you say would be the best, better. Like, can he absolutely be the best linebacker in the league? Or you think it's some outside linebackers that can be in that conversation?
I think some outside linebackers can be in the conversation. I feel like he's like top 3, and he's not 3 as far as best linebacker. Period.
Is he the best defensive player in the league? Period. Like he said, is he the best defensive player in the league? Because I'm not willing to not argue that with him. I think he can really get that off. I really think we could say he's the best defender in the league.
I think we can.
He's the most consistent. This ain't a guy that's getting, these ain't computer numbers. You know, most of these guys that be having this high tackle, they be computer games. Like, what I mean by that is the guys aren't playing. So you get the guys that have high tackles, the guys, because the guy's not playing and shit. He plays all his games, right? He might be the best defensive player. There's some really good defensive players in this league, bro. It's some really good ones. But he's almost arguably undeniable with what he's done. I mean, his worst season was 104 tackles. As far as tackles.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm checking. I ain't gonna lie about he's the best defensive player.
The best defensive player in the league, period, right?
Yeah, it's between, honestly, you're gonna like, it's not even gonna be crazy, actually. Him, Saragusa, and maybe
I like
Devon
that.
White.
I like
Maybe
Saragusa.
Maybe Devon White, and then maybe the Owe might say, I don't know. I kid you not. I think that might be like, yeah, shit. Yeah, somebody could argue with me about this. I'm going.
What about Caden Stearns?
I was just about to say somebody might argue me about this. I might say Caden Stearns is in the top 5, top 3. It just because he's a DB, it's a tricky conversation for DBs. Like, it's a very tricky conversation.
When we go through these awards, we're gonna do that. We're at the same time we go through these awards, and if whoever wins it, that position group, we're gonna talk about that position group as who's the best player at that position. Yeah. I'm bringing you one right now. I'm on my podcast show. You want to say hi to everybody? Yeah. Say.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
My bad. Hold on.
Saragusa's got some crazy.
I can say good morning to you guys. How are you? Hello? Anybody listening?
Yep. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Ma.
And what's going on?
Nothing much. Living and breathing.
Hey, I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, I tell you what you need to do.
Don't say no ignorant shit.
That's just what I'm going to do.
What? Hell no. Give my
Oh my
headphones.
god.
Crazy
Oh
ass.
my
He's about to say
God.
some bullshit. Guaranteed. It's always a good morning when Mrs. is in a good mood. Sheesh. Need her to be in a good mood. So, Max, as we talk about the people that's winning these awards and we go through the position groups, we're going to look at, possibly who could be. So right now, how did Isaiah Simmons come into this conversation over top of us talking about Devin Bush, who won Defensive Player of the Year this year?
I just think the coach didn't want to go unnoticed, kind of like Drew with the whole Curtis Samuel. I just think the coach was like, I know he won that award, but like, go look at the numbers. It's very much in the cards for our guy to win that same award. So it's just like, and it's an award he's won, I want to say multiple times already. So.
Like what? If we go to Isaiah Simmons, how many times he's won Defensive Player of the Year?
I'll go ahead.
I'm here already.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. I think he's won it at least twice.
As middle linebacker, he won league leader in interceptions once. Best linebacker 2024. Best linebacker 2023, 26. Defensive Player of the Year 23. Defensive Player of the Year 24. And now Defensive Player of the Year 2026. He's about to win it again in 27. He did win. No, he didn't win it. I'm sorry. Bush won it.
Devon White. Devon White. And just last year, and the numbers this year is very much Isaiah's. Isaiah's got some crazy numbers. I think the thing is with Devon White is those tackles for loss to 26. That was the.
That put him over the top. That definitely put him over the top. The 26 tackle for losses. That's huge for a middle linebacker, bro. For real, especially a guy that played in the passing game really well. You know what I mean? Because it's not always running forward with your linebackers. You really, the linebackers are taught when a ball's hiked, your first step is forward. In this league, them linebackers drop back like they DBs, their first step. So for him to, get up, get back, and then get back up and still get tackled for losses 26 times and shit, you know what I mean? Shit is crazy over there. So he called him Meta Blitz Shorty is what he called him. Meta Blitz Shorty, and Meta Blitz Shorty is what his name is. Alright, so now before we go back into the awards, let's talk about this conversation. Who is the best defender on the planet in Game of Thrones? Is it Isaiah Simmons?
I will go Isaiah Simmons.
Does he have 100 interceptions yet?
I think he hit it this season. I think he literally hit it this season.
Well, we can go see. Let's look at his career.
I think he hit it this season. I think he did. If not, he's 97, 98.
He got 90 right now. So he'll probably clear that next year.
Next season. Yeah, next season. I think I give it to him before then.
Yeah, but they won't count the playoff stuff.
No, I'm talking about not the picks. I think I'm gonna give him best defensive player of the Game of Thrones. Because honestly, he's about to have 1,000 tackles. He might have 100 tackles for loss next season, depending on the type of season he has, and 100 interceptions with 20 defensive touchdowns. Yeah.
Best defender in the league.
Best defender in the league. Yeah.
Best defender in the league. All right, I agree. Best defender in the league. All right, I'm gonna ride with that right now. We'll still look through some things. If all 31 users are watching, we're
fucked up though, because Syracuse is like 26 or some shit like that.
Yeah, 26 years old, man.
I don't got Syracuse fucked up. Like, he still got time to like take that. But if we was to end the league right now and be like best defender in the league, Isaiah Simmons.
So if you look at Syracuse, 101 tackles. Have we seen a D tackle do that before?
I don't think so. If they did, they came out of Arizona.
Right. Have we seen a defender, defensive tackle with 101 tackles, bro?
Yeah, I don't. Not that to this point, I don't accredit that we have one.
All right, so my thing is, as a rookie, he played defensive end for this team. They didn't really like him at the defensive end, although he had 7.5 as a rookie. They moved him to D tackle the following year, and it's been 81 tackles, 24 tackle for losses, 10 sacks, 73, 19, 8, 65, 31, 2.5. The sacks was down that year, 54, 11, and 12, 5. I think it's too much inconsistency on like super sing and regular shit. Like 11 is regular, you know what I mean? 31 is
Yeah.
not regular. 36 is not regular. 19 is like, okay, 19,
Is
but
that just a
24.
product though? He's still in double digit everything's in a league where like I feel like that's a product of double team. Is he getting the Aaron Donald treatment at 6'8",
Yeah, of
215?
course.
Like, so I
Of
mean,
course.
this is still very like high numbers.
I just think when you look at it, you can appreciate what he's doing as a D tackle, and like the stress he's under at D tackle, because it could be a whole double team year and all that. But I think this year he's playing the way he's playing because of what those two defensive ends are doing on the outside for Baltimore. He's not getting double teamed. This is just him being able to beat his man all game long. And when you do double team, you open up shit for the edges to come off, and Peppers and Bulwer coming around that corner when they come. But I like it, but I just think when you look at Isaiah Simmons numbers, there's no denying that. Like, there's no question.
Isaiah's no denying, but that's why I say he's 26. If he continues to have ridiculous type of seasons, his end of career stats were gonna look very much like, wow, like, ooh, how did we not talk about this guy in the like history of Game of Thrones? Maybe even if he wins, I know it's hard for D tackles to win those type of awards too. They win them in real life. Aaron Donald has 3 defensive players of the years, but in Madden, it's definitely a little bit harder to be an award-winning D tackle. Like,
well, let's talk about the guy that did win the defensive player of the year in the AFC right now, and that's Steve Israel, the #1 pick a year ago, right? You're looking at 87 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. This guy has 12 sacks, 13 INTs, 13 deflections, and I think he ran 4 to the crib. He has a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and he got 4 touchdowns on the year from the DB spot. I mean, this is a guy that plays the nickel, plays the outside corner well. He can shut down your #1. He can go on a slot and shut down your speedster. He is flying, and I mean, I love it the way they. I mean, this is Baltimore at its finest when it comes down to defense. This is them moving their player around and getting matchups and putting him in situations where he can be super successful. Chargers is in the building. What's going on? It's a Chargers sighting. Oh shit! What's up, Corey? But defensive player of the year goes to Steve Israel, man, and I think he played to that stat. I mean, at the end of the day, 84 tackles and 12 sacks as a cornerback in this league is very crazy. They be sending that shit. And Baltimore, man, they get blitz happy at times right now, and they send all types of stunts and blitzes from you from anywhere, from safeties to corners to just the front four. They get after it. But the 13 INTs show you he can shut shit down as well, especially with the 13 deflections there. So shout out to Steve Israel, man, for winning the defensive player of the year in the AFC. As we continue on, we're going to look at the AFC again, and we're going to look at the diaper dandies. After you go from the offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, now you go on the offensive rookie of the year. Right now, Tion Pitts wins the diaper dandy award.
I can read off all the rookie shit since we don't got a deep dive. Because they only rookies. Tion had 98 catches, 2,950 yards, 40 touchdowns.
40 of them things.
50 short of the 3,000 mark. What the hell going on over there?
40 of them things. He ain't even the #1 receiver on that team, though. 40 of them things this year. The problem is this: we've seen receivers come in, diaper dandies too, come in and go fucking bonkers like this. You know what I mean? So we will have to. You really got to put in perspective what he did. Great season. He brought back Baltimore's passing game. Bottom line, they were the last team in the league in passing yards the year before, and I say that because that's vital into why all the things that happened this year are happening. When you are controlled by a quarterback that the league hates. The media hates, and they still to this day thinks he's not a quarterback, right? And he's the last you're dubbed the worst passing team in the league. They go get a quarterback to replace him. They bring in a receiver for that new quarterback, not for him, and look what happens. Oh, you brought me another weapon. That's all I needed. Let's go. And he goes crazy in Tion Pitts, but this is one of those breakout seasons, right? He has to follow it up with a great season next year for us to really talk about this kid in a bigger light. But we had guys like Danger Griffin that went crazy this year as a rookie as well. Spencer Moss. These guys are in the playoffs, right? Mike Weber. We're going to see these guys today. Justin Keys. Herschel Walker Jr. will not be in the offs this year, but he's number 6 on this list. Nathan Huffman. The fact that the Dolphins got 2 diaper dandies on here is very special. We didn't get to see Rayshawn Hendricks from out of Miami, all that speed at 6'3", 98 speed on the Excel. Didn't get to see him play at all this year. So, he had a slow rise to his rookie year because we don't know nothing about him. Chris Portis will be and displayed tonight on in the Broncos game. And then Theo Stout, see what he about at tight end, I think. But that's the diaper dandies in the AFC. You go look at the NFC diaper dandies, and the winner of that award goes to Darren Thomas Jr., who we will see in a playoff game against you, New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The new young gremlins up against the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Darren Thomas got his team at 9-8. They're a game above 500, made the playoffs, man. They fought hard down the stretch. This team was on their way to tank mode, and they fought through it. They developed their quarterback, and during his development, he started to play lights out. He had some really great games. The game against you, the last game y'all played, he won. He had a perfect QB rating in that game. And he did it on the ground with his legs as well too, which made the Eagles coach and staff look like they were geniuses in the moves they did to get to this situation. I think he's well deserving of this award in the NFC right now. You got another diaper dandy, and Chris Evans, who threw more bombs than us bombing motherfucking Iraq in 91, 92. He just bombs everywhere. Bombs over Baghdad. Letting them shit fly out that bitch, right? To the house, who, at times had 10.2 yards of carry in games and shit, And then you got the names, E.B. Savage.
Wild seasons.
Who, to the house?
Nah, I'm talking about the first two.
Chris Evans and Darren Thomas, right?
Chris Evans, 6,000 yards, 57 touchdowns, 52 interceptions, 60% completion. I don't know his rushing, but I know DT had 47-81. He had about 47 touchdowns, 43 interceptions on 65. 44 touchdowns with 36 interceptions, and he had 625 yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground.
That's dual threat for real. Like he really got the most out of him. And again, if he could continue, if this guy, this is scary, bro. You in a situation, you got to deal with this kid. I don't think the lights is going to be too bright for him in this playoff game. You got to deal with a guy that can get it going on the ground, get their team to a really good rushing number. And I said if they rush for 200 yards or more, you're going to be in trouble. And he also can fling that thing right now, man. I think he's comfortable. The weather is going to be an issue. In my opinion, I just think Elijah Manning he plays in that shit. He knows what's going on. He's is weapons in New York, man, and these kids are really, really good. And you're dealing with towers. You're dealing with every weapon that Elijah throw to has 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. You're dealing with that. You have to deal with that. But Darren Thomas, I think, he coming into this game with confidence of I'm the better quarterback today type shit. And he's proven it all year. It seemed like when he struggled, the very next game he showed that he learned from those mistakes and he gets better. He might have a off game. The next game he goes lights out. Like he's the future of this team, and they're in the situation how they were when they traded for Deshaun Watson, and it put them in a good situation where they had a quarterback that we was like, this might be a top 5 quarterback in the league. I think they're great be back in that same situation they got. And most teams have trouble finding one quarterback, and the fact that they're great have 2, they found 2. They go and get Deshaun, who was proven already, but made him a Philadelphia Eagle, and he was lights out for the Eagles. And now they got a guy that they went and got themselves that has explosive speed in the run game and can run the fuck out of that football. Guy that barely fumbles running the ball as well, and a guy that can fling it as well. So, shout out to him for winning that award. And, the Evans Award, I think, is just solely, the emergence of that receiver, or you just got to get a quarterback credit for being able to complete 60% of his passes, throwing the ball down the field 90% of the time.
I definitely think it's credit to the receiver because he's attributing for half the fucking yards
right
of the quarterback. So I feel like that's a big part of why he's second, honestly,
yeah.
on the list, if not first.
And then you look at these names, man. To the house, man. Big back that nobody thought about. Went number 2. Went in the second round, man, to the New York Giants. And you know when everybody called them, who the fuck is their run game? They got rid of Saquon Barkley. That was stupid. This and that. They let Saquon go to somewhere else, use some draft picks to move around, do some other thing, and then they come full circle right back a year later after that Saquon move was dead. They go and get this kid out of the draft, and he's lights out. And the funny part is he's not even there. He hasn't won a starting job yet. Why? Why hasn't he won a starting job yet?
Just getting the full value and and what we paid him full kind of for the Saint Barkley, giving him a chance to get the at least some of the respect that was owed. Getting a young back like that, and last year he was the sole guy. And then we brought him to a realistic situation just now where it's a split backfield, who's kind of whoever's having the best day gets the love. We're going to give both of y'all a chance and opportunity. I definitely think Atuta's hungry, though, and he's shown this season that, down the stretch, he's going to be the bell cow, the number one back. But, we just weren't comfortable in the situation of giving him the reins as a rookie.
All right. And some
haven't
guys
really done
go all
something
out.
like that since Saquon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we ain't really, so we just wanted to take it easy this time around. We got the quarterback to really do that. So we
You made a decision though when you traded your entire offense and said this team is going to be built weapon wise around Elijah Manning, and it's his show, and you gave him the keys to the car, and he never looked back. And you did exactly that. You revamped the offense, and to me, I think you got better offensively. This is scary over here what the new young gremlins can do with that fucking basketball team at wide receiver group. With the kid Smith playing in the slot, your tight end is emerging right now after being on the team for a few years. He's starting to get it. And then you got a run game where you can work between two running backs that can really, really get it going at any time. It's getting scary over there. E.B. Savage, a guy you're going to have to pay attention to next year. You got Earl Peppers, Keyshawn Peppers' little brother, right? You got Bake Sanders, Theo Fletcher, who's a 1,000-yard receiver, Mike Timmons, who's a 1,000-yard receiver, Devontae Davis, who was a steal for the 49ers, came out on the X Factor. Going to be a problem over there the moment he gets some time over there. And then Trayvon Gooden, another fast receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. So the Diaper Dandy's looking really, really, really good over here for offense. We talked about the Diaper Dandies in the AFC, but as we keep going down, you got all guys that, like I said, playoff guys. Pitts will be in the offs, Danger's in the off, Moss is in the off, Weber is in the off, Keys is in the off, Hoffman's in the off, Portis is in the off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys on here that's in the offs right now. Let's go look at the defensive rookie of the year. Lennox Castle, the Jamaican. Let's start right there. We expected him to win this award from the time we started to pay attention to him. He lit the league on fire week 3. He started coming around that corner. They do so much with this guy. This is a weapon X for them. He plays safety, but this kid really is a roamer. Like, they call him their spider position. And that spider mean, he can do it all. They put him up there in the box to run against the line, against run game. And we're not talking about, sub linebacker package. We're talking about the way they scheme him. He's one of those players that don't have an assignment. His assignment is kill the guy with the football. Simple as that. And he does a really good job of that. Do you think, I don't think if he went anywhere else, not too many other teams would have been able to scheme him around the way they do or think about using him like that. Most guys would have said he can't play, he ain't 215, so he can't play at the sub linebacker package, so we're going to have to keep him back deep at free safety with that 96 speed, 96 XL, and just hopefully he don't get beat deep. You throw a deep ball, he can cover a lot of ground. Well, Hoodie said, nope, I'm using him as my spider position. I mean, he can crawl around, do whatever the hell he want, and they let him get actively, and they move around because he's a user. Why is that special?
I think it's special. I think it's special, honestly, because, bro, you can't waste a fucking draft pick.
Right.
2, speed kills.
Right.
3, if you're a good coach, you're a damn good coach. And flat out, that's all I have. Like, it's the same shit with A. Sanders, the same shit with 5'9" quarter Junior Levine that he has. It's the same shit. This Bills coach is showing y'all, keep fucking sleeping. We just gonna keep moving.
He
Doing what we
said it.
got to do.
He made this pick
Yeah.
because he missed Ace Sanders. You drafted
I
Ace
already
Sanders
know.
the year
Yeah.
before. He said that on the show, and he was looking for that type of guy. But he was going to do it the 5'9" safety that's out there in New York right now, and he lucked up and got a 6'2", 6'3" type guy and doing the same thing. With that type of speed, he could do a lot with it, and he's using it, man. Like you said, this is good coaching. It's just scheming your guy to an award, defensive rookie of the
Can't
year.
sub linebacker him. Fuck it. Play aggressive. Like that.
Yep.
Make sure you got a safety to have your back. That's
Yep.
flat out.
Exactly that. All right, so the man in the middle, Deron Adams, who had a lights out year for the Baltimore Ravens, number 2 on this list. Lance Norman, who could have easily probably won this award as well. He balled out. C.J. Westbrook was the fastest middle linebacker in the draft, 94 speed, 94 excel. This is one of 3 linebackers that the Colts have drafted 3 years in a row. They got the kid over there who played lights out for him. They brought him in too. It looks like they just getting faster and stronger and more better at this linebacker position. I hope they don't draft another fucking linebacker next year. Roy Grant, Anthony Adams. Max, Anthony Adams is on this list. Tweener, special player. You've watched and seen some things that they do with Baltimore do with him. I think the way they move him around and be able to do some things with him is part of the reason why they was able to do Steve Israel the way they did. Having an athlete like this, though, what does that, what difference have you seen in the Baltimore's defense having a guy that can go from safety to corner at any moment, Anthony Adams?
I think just comfortability, man. These guys like to give you different looks. They like to really scheme. So scheme is really different looks. Safety line, that's the tweeners at safety or corner allows maybe a covered safety to be on. They can go more coverage, maybe a hard hitting set they have. Maybe they got a ball hawk set. Like they got so many different type of things going on, bro. You wouldn't even be able to keep up with. Just like they got 12 schemes and 11 personnel and all that shit on offense, the Ravens got a system on defense, and I think he just fits right into it.
Yes, sir. All right, you got the Deshaun Scruggs, the defensive end. You got Junior Seau's son. Victor McLeod, the big boy safety from out of Alcorn State. And then you got Isaiah Sands over there who will be playing in the playoff game tonight as well. That shit diaper dandies in the AFC on defense. Let's look at the NFC diaper dandies and see Chris Samuels. Now, the 49ers told us early that this guy will win this award. He won the award over Orlando Jordan, who had a lights out year as well. He won the award, though. I'm going to say this. I played this team. I didn't get to play the coach when I played this team. But when I played this team, the computer AI, this guy was a flat-out shutdown corner, bro. Like, he picked me off. He made it. It was very hard to throw over there at his side right now. When they got a corner already on Aubrey Thomas, who started to play lights out later on in the season. It took him like 3 or 4 years to get his shit going, but he got it going. And, this kid comes right in and takes the number 1 job from him right away. We haven't even seen him at his best right now. His ceiling is super high right now. It was a great pick for the 49ers, and the fact that he won his award tells you it was a great pick, and these guys got some shit going on in their back end right now. Orlando Jordan, though, man, he was winning this award all the way up until he didn't win it. Simple as that. But you got names over here. Jordan, the Jordan brand. You got Chase Bailey. You all know, Champ and Chase. You got Chase's son. Chase is the son of Champ Bailey. You got this guy over here with the actor's name. And then you got Roman Newsom. You got Zion Alley. We got some DJ Thompson. We had some names. Dean Pantfield at linebacker. Terrence Scarborough, and then Eli Berry, who was sought after by everybody in the league. Almost got a deal done with the Baltimore Ravens to bring him in as another tweener in their secondary, but they didn't pull the trigger. The rules chat said fuck no, and it fell back, and he's right here at number 10 on the diaper dandy list for the Vikings right now. We'll see him tonight in the playoff game, man, against the Cardinals, and hey, they're going to need him to play really well for them to even be in this game tonight. To me, I want to see the unthinkable done, but they could do so much with Eli Berry. Again, he's like the same way as Anthony Adams is, where they can move him around from corner to safety and defy our position rules with drafting a tweener like this. Barry, the name is famous. He was a hard hitter for the Chiefs at safety, and he played really good in pass coverages as well. He's a complete better version of him. He could do both of everything. Play down in the box, do some things, make tackles. He's not scared to get his hands dirty and play in the run game at the same time. He can cover on the back end. So we got some diaper dandies that's great, make a name for themselves. Zion Ali is in the playoffs, right? How about Roman Newsom right now in a situation where the Giants are
And
still trying to
Scarborough
figure
both in
out,
the playoffs.
right, they're in the playoffs too, but Roman is in a
Oh
situation
yeah.
where he's fighting to be, I'm the number one corner over here. You got a whole bunch of young corners that you're trying to figure out who's the number one corner over there right now. How much of him being at 5 on this list has shown that he could absolutely be your number one at any time?
There's been games where he's shown. We started him off in the slot anyways, and there's been games that he's just locked down the slot receiver completely. When we go back and recap the game, and he's talked about getting them one looks, start giving me looks in different dimes, and pair me with. He's directly been asked to be paired with Sharif because he noticed that Sharif wasn't getting as much time. He wants to be actually paired up with Sharif, the veteran, on more occasions. He's saying, "Coach, have your 1A group be Belango and Jackson, and let me and Sharif be 1B, and we'll show you." You know what I'm saying? So he's got a little bit of swag, little kid out of Louisville. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be the future for the Giants secondary. I believe it actually.
How important it is for him to have a great game, having to cover a guy like Swartz over there. You already know what the Swartz in Cleveland does. They have their brother over there in Philadelphia, and Dorian Parker over there, the speed burner. They got Neighborhood stepping up right now. They got some good receiver weapons over there. So how important it is for Roman Newsom to have a good day?
I think it starts now. You know what I'm saying? This would be a third matchup. First matchup, he fared really well. Second matchup, we had to get him out of there for Sharif. This third matchup, we're going to give him the chance to go out there and do what he's got to do. It'll be his first snow game. We get him out there early for warm-ups, but we need him to have a pretty big day because
let's not slide past the fact that you benched him in that second Eagles game, and he's going up against that same type of weapon, same type of weapons again, man. Is he a guy that's going to stand up to the challenge right now, or do you feel like you're going to have an issue? Corners got to have a short memory. They got to forget real fast.
I think he'll be fine. When we benched him in another previous game, not against the Eagles, but we benched him just out of a little fight. He was having a little fight, a little height discipline battle, with another taller receiver in the slot. We benched him just out of experience, and Sharif came in, made a couple plays. That next game, he follows up with 2 picks, almost taking one to the crib. So I think he's got that short memory and that knack that we need at DB to give that dog mentality. And what other place to show your dog mentality versus a playoff game against the Philadelphia Eagles? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We like this diaper dandy list, man. We like it. But let's talk about Terrence Scarborough, man. He was the number 1 D tackle on the draft, flat out animal, 6'8", 84 speed, 84 excel. This guy's a flyer. He can play anywhere on the defensive line. How much of how much fun did you have puzzle piecing him, scheming him, putting him in different situations to be able to cause havoc? And has he given you everything you would expect him to give you, being your first round pick?
One of my most fun actual first round picks actually in a while. He's just a stud. He's very agile, catching backs in the backfield sometimes, getting double teamed, which opens up sacks and tackles for loss for other guys, and he's definitely a plug in the middle. In big down situations, I think that's the best thing about him is that when it's time for the number to be called, I see 98 a lot, which is good to see early, because in this rotation of D-line that we got, to find your niche and be able to make some plays is very it's important early. So we play our D-line early every year. We have yet to really sit a D-lineman kind of as a rookie. We play them early and often.
Get on the field right away.
Early and often.
Do you feel like this is the closest front seven you had to old vintage Giants defenses, those Super Bowl Giants, where the defensive line was off the hook with Tuck? You got guys like Strahan, Tuck. What's the other kid out there? Pierre Paul. Those type of guys. Do you feel like you're that close with your defensive line, and how much of a factor will they play in the playoffs?
I think Scarborough completes it. It's funny because he has we left his name as is because we have the other names, but he completes it because it's Madden. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the old days, so it is a video game. But he completes it honestly. Allows everybody else, like I said, to kind of get a little bit freaky with it, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Do what they got to do. We got a lot of tall guys over here, and in the playoffs, we can't not have Scarborough. He's going to be the big guy with Pierre Paul, and you'll see him moved out sometimes to the end when we bring in straight hand and Kinwanyuka coming off the edge. You'll see some some move arounds. It'll be the same old game, him with Allen, is it going to be a good look on the same side? That's a lot to deal with.
Right.
We'll have things moving around.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the diaper dandies, man, on both sides, NFC and the AFC, man. These guys are playing at a high level. They had their names up in the top 10. That tells you they're being used, and they're playing pretty good now. Not all 10 of them will have outrageous numbers to be up here. They just playing better than any other of the rookies that are not on here. Simple as that. Right now, you go to the best quarterback position in the NFC. Kyler Murray wins this award. Kyler Murray has won this award. Kyler Murray he's still the best quarterback in the league. And let me ask you this: not only is he the best quarterback in the league, is this the best offensive player in the league?
He's definitely the best quarterback. I think him and Lamar are 1A and 1B, honestly. Just depends on the coach.
As far as best player in the league?
Yeah, best
or
offensive
best
player in the league,
quarterback?
I would say. No, best quarterback, he's the best quarterback. Best
Got
offensive player, I would say him and Lamar is like 1A, 1B. It's kind of like heads and tails. Like, I wouldn't be mad with either one. I would say that I could argue for both of them being the best offensive player in the league. Easy.
Okay. All right, we stand with quarterbacks as the best player in the league right now. In the league where you had a Hits Israel, 99 Reasons. Let's go, Jalen Waddle. I mean, like, it's endless. I mean, even your quarterback is in that building. The Justin Fields. We got a lot of big-time weapons offensively in the league right now. Bradshaw and Elijah Manning, Fields, and then the young gunner, Darren Thomas, finished in the top 5 here. Shout out to the NFC quarterbacks. AFC quarterbacks, obviously Lamar won this award with Stanton, Weber, Marino, Kellen Mond. So when you look at the top 5 quarterbacks that are in the AFC, they all in the playoffs. They all will be put on display. Out of the five that's in the top 5 right now, 4 of them will be playing at night. Who do you think will have the biggest game?
Marino.
Marino will?
I think Marino will, numbers-wise. I don't know if it'll result in a win or a loss, but Marino will have the best game numbers-wise. I think Weber will be a game manager. I think Mond. I think Mond will have a good game, but I think they're gonna try to do something different.
I can see Mond being a game manager as well too today.
I was just about to say I didn't want to call him a game manager, but I think he might play more to that role than a playmaker. So, yeah, I think Marino's gonna have the best day out the 2 to 5.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so the AFC running backs right now. Well, we thought Travis Etienne was the best running back in the league. Does Tremaine Bass have something to say about that? What he did this year, does that put him right now as the number 1 running back in the league?
Fuck no.
No? Okay, so he was special, though.
He's definitely special. Great season, but let's see about 1 or 2 more of these and maybe, playoffs with it, household common name. Those are the credentials right there.
Okay, but so Travis Etienne is your number 2 running back in the AFC right now. Is he the number 1 back in the league this year?
To me, yeah.
I do. I think he means more towards.
I'm about to say, I was about to say,
I agree with you. I do think we can get that title to him right now. I do think so. I think if there's a back in the league asked to be, to carry a team, he's the one. He does it. I mean, we've seen some special guys do some special shit. I just think, like, you look at Hits Israel, I think we ignore the fact that he is legit one of the, if not, he could possibly be the best running back right now. I mean, Jaleel Ruggs, you got guys like that, man. I would go as far as to even go down to Casey Fields in this situation, right? I think Ezekiel Stokes is in a transition year where he's becoming a guy over there. He had an outstanding season, but it's not a back on this list in the AFC that didn't reach the 2,000-yard mark. ETN was 2,000. Williams was 2,000. I think Adai wasn't. Stokes was 2,000, and I don't think James Griffin was. Casey Fields is 2,000. I know Moss didn't reach the 2,000-yard mark, but the names over here: Hayden, Chubb, Moss. When you look at these names, they all are important to their team right now, but none has been more important than the top 2. I would even make a case for the top 3. Javonte Williams really put on for this team this year, offensively, and everything goes through him. But because everything goes to them, it opens up the style of play that they like to do over there with the Denver Broncos. I cannot wait to see that game tonight too. I mean, just think about it. We're on a Sunday, right? A Sunday where there's nothing to do. You don't have NFL to watch. NBA is in regular season. College basketball is in the division, is in the conference championships and things like that, all that. But it ain't really. Other than that, you got golf to watch. So these games should be getting ready to be locked and loaded. We should get out of the wild card round at least by 8 o'clock tonight, unless Nano at work. Other than that, we should be getting the fuck out of these wild card rounds right now, man. But I like the running backs over here, but I also like the running backs in the NFC. So let's start with Jaleel Ruggs, man. Jaleel Ruggs is coming off a very, very bad game, but he wasn't really productive in that game because he didn't get the touches in that game. When you don't give Jaleel Ruggs 20 or more carries, you're up for a chance to be able to lose, and you're not at the strength where the Bucks would like to be. Part of this, to me, that game against the Cowboys is questionable as fuck. But at the same time, it's concerning to me because what I saw number-wise without watching the game, if Jaleel Ruggs is struggling, it goes back to, look, man, I'm just going to say what I want to say, and I'm saying it because this is what I believe until I'm proven otherwise. Jaleel Ruggs had a bad day for the first time all year. Go to the Cowboys game against the Bucks week 18 and just tell me his average yards per carry on those 9 carries.
I got you. 1 sec. I'm right here.
And I'll wait for you.
Player card. Stats and contract. 4.2.
On 9 carries, how many yards he at?
38, 9 for 38.
All right, so 4.2 yards a carry. That's by far his lowest average yards per carry. But by far, that 9 carries in the game was his lowest average carry in the game. Why that happened, I don't know. So I'm going to go with my theory. My theory is I don't think the Bucks thought that the Cowboys going to walk on the same field as him. Arrogantly, he went out there and said, we're not fucking with Jaleel Ruggs today. We're going to throw the ball around the park. And to me, what I saw was a struggling running back means a struggling passing game. You tell me if I'm wrong. All year long, Jay Bradshaw has been he's protected the football. He doesn't take sacks. Don't throw interceptions. Has a high completion percentage in every game. You know, he's somewhere above 70% completion percentage. He threw the ball very well this year to put himself in that category of we're not looking at a system quarterback. But everything with this loss screams system to me.
I would say that it does in the sense of just because the numbers don't lie.
Or he fucked around, right? Or he fucked around.
It can be both. The last time that he hasn't had 15 or more carries is 12 against the Panthers week 5, and he did win. He had 100 yards still and a touchdown, but he had 12 carries. So I think that's like, I think it's just a testament to. And then right before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consistent, 6 straight games of 20 plus carries. Then even before that, 16, 15, 19, 30, and 19. Then there's a 12, 29, 25, 18, and 17.
Right.
9 is just like, what the fuck? Like,
and when he's going,
everybody's over under hit that game.
Right. If you gambled on him getting, you know, somewhere between 12 to 20 carries, you lost that bet. And the whole thing is this: every game that he had 100 yards or more, or over 12 carries or more, that passing game was on point. Yes or no?
Or at least a touchdown. Yeah. Like, because even the Panthers, like I said, 12 for 98, but he had a touchdown, averaging 8.2 a carry. Like
8.2 that's enough to make you have to come down on play action, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to worry about the run on play action. I think again, if he was farting around, that's what the fuck you get for being cocky. Simple as that. I want to go into this. I want to go into the playoffs undefeated, 18-0. You know what I mean? 17-0. I want to win. I ain't trying to lose. I'm trying to knock down barriers. I'm not mad at the loss. You get that loss out the way, right? You get that loss out the way. You know, you can re-energize yourself. You got a bye week to relax. Put that in your guy's head. You don't want this feeling of be losing games late, and shit can be situation people who we are all at some point. My nigga, hold on, sorry about that.
Nah, you good.
All right. So what I saw, it was some sense of arrogance. I don't know if he was looking to, looking for a record, looking to do something, maybe trying to get. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But what I do know is this: if your running back not running the ball well, and the person that you're playing is not fearing that running attack, and they can zero in and make you one dimensional because you made yourself one dimensional. They can zero in on you throwing the football. You're not having a good day throwing the football. You threw more interceptions in this game than you possibly threw all year, except for the Eagles game. Um, you got sacked, and you really barely take sacks in that game. I think he was sacked 3 times in that game. Uh,
Against Dallas.
yeah, how many times was he sacked in that Dallas game?
Loading. He was sacked 3 times. 2 interceptions.
How many times was he sacked?
3. 2 interceptions. 68% completion rate.
Under your 70%. Everything is a little low and under right now. So again, here's my concern: if the run game and Jaleel Ruggs ain't getting it done on the ground, can they put the game in Jerry Bradshaw's hand and win it? It's only one game, so let's not think that the Great Wall is getting knocked down or something like that, or something changed. But what I did see is, the passing game wasn't strong, and that not being strong because of the running game wasn't strong, which resulted into a loss. Whether you came into this game, with your chin sticking up, knowing that the Cowboys couldn't beat you, if your one hand was tied behind your back and you was using one hand to control it, I would think that's how you felt. And if that's the case, you went out there like, fuck it, I don't gotta run the ball because you only gave him 9 carries. Don't know why you gave him 9 carries. I'm just assuming, and I could be 1,000% wrong. And if you're listening or watching, you can tune in at any moment and tell me what the fuck happened in this game. But what I saw was a guy didn't have to worry about the run game, so he was able to lock in strictly on you passing the football, and you wasn't as successful throwing the ball as you would have liked to be giving your running back only 9 carries right now. So that's concerning for me. But it also tells me how important Jaleel Ruggs is to this offense. And then it comes full circle back around to, is this a system quarterback? It comes right back to that same conversation right now, man. And then we say, what is a system quarterback? My system, he throws the ball. Well, if your quarterback is your running back ain't making linebackers step forward on play action, and the user safety or linebacker coming forward to stop your run because they think you're running the ball, and that split second or so of them thinking you running the ball gets these guys open a little faster, and the throws are better, then what happens when you're not running the ball well and you're in all throw mode and you don't have a good game and you lose a game that you shouldn't have lost, that you can win 9 out of 10 times if you play it over 9 out of 10 times. So to me, it comes back to, is the quarterback comfortable outside of the system, or do he need a strong run game for him to be super successful throwing a football?
I think it just goes easier with the way the form of the team. I think the line gets a little bit more gassed with consistently pass. That's a lot of pass rushing to deal with. 32 dropbacks. That's a lot of pass rushing to deal with. A lot of tired linemen. So you got the 2 or 3. You got the 3
with a quarterback
sacks, so
that's protected. You know what I'm saying? Hey, quarterback protected, because this is one of the best, if not the best offense. I think the Bucks and the Jaguars have the best offensive line in the league.
Yep,
1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to protect the fuck out of their quarterback, though, right? I don't know. Was this a DDA case? What was going? Something went down in this game, man. Something went down. Was this a friend wager gang? And let me win this thing. It don't mean nothing to you. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out bullshit scenarios and starting narratives. Why? Because I can do that this Sunday morning. We ain't got shit else to do but listen to me talk. And listen to Max kick it with me. And I'm talking about, so all I want to know is, Jaleel Ruggs struggled in this game. Was that handmade, self-made by the coach himself? But in that struggle, your quarterback didn't show he was elite by losing this fucking ball game. So, the way your quarterback plays all year long, because he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but does it go hand in hand with how good that running game and offensive line is? All that goes hand in hand. Could you sit back and lose your running back for the day and just drop back and win a ball game throwing a football? So Max, you called him elite a couple of weeks ago. You said because of what he did to you in your game, y'all played. You called him elite. But after seeing his Cowboy stats, because we didn't see the game, do you feel like maybe he is exactly what I said he was, a system quarterback?
I was. It can be easy to quick and say that. I think this is a case of.
Bullshitting around, right? Farting
I
around,
think
fucking
it's. I
around,
think.
not caring.
I think. Yeah, bullshitting around. A pinch of DDA. Discrediting that. We say that Cowboys defense is good. He even says it. We credit that Cowboys defense a lot. 2 picks and 40 yards because you got 12 with almost 100 against the Panthers. That says whatever about their defense. Under 10, 12 carries against the Cowboys, 40 yards is about what you're going to get for real. You ain't going to get a whole lot of woo baby or he lose. You're not finna get that. You finna get like a smash mouth defense. So I think just playing around is the overall thing. I don't think the quarterback is really all the way at hand as much as I would say the play calling is.
Are we discrediting Snake and the Cowboys team to win 3 straight ball games to get themselves in the playoffs? Are we discrediting his hunger and his drive to make sure he makes the playoffs again, and discrediting him by saying, Craig was farting around, he wasn't playing this game
I
with
definitely think
intentions?
a little bit. I think a little bit, but I just gave a little bit credit to not disrespecting the defense. Like where the defense down
Right.
the stretch, I knew was going to play for the Cowboys. They had to get back to their roots, though. You see Joey Cummings, 26 carries, 92 yards, no touchdown, but that's the roots is run to pass.
Right.
And, then play defense on the back end to make it all come together.
Right. All right. Well, with that being said, Hal Streets is number 2 on this list. Hits Israel's number 3. Joey Cummings is number 4. Walter Payton Jr. is number 5. For the second year in a row, he's in the top 5. When we talk about these running backs, you look at the guys over here right now. Hal Streets, we know he's making a name for himself. Streets, it's time for Streets and them to turn this up a little bit. I mean, 8 and 9, they got to be above 500 at the end of next year. It's the time. Their timetable is up for them to be in a better place right now. I think they're headed in that direction, but we've been saying they've been headed in that direction since they joined the league. It's time to see, how good this run game really is. And how good the Streets is at getting these guys over that hump and winning 2 games above 500. Hits Israel though. Is he on cruise control right now until right now?
I think so. I think we know what time it is.
And they pretty much woken Joey Cummings back up. Like, he's up now. Like, and the fact that he did what he did in his last 3 games, he ain't going nowhere no more, right? It ain't no the Cake Boys and Sidney Cake and all that. This is Joey Cummings' offense. Give him the football and watch the magic happen. Flat out. That's what I see when I see Joey Cummings and what he did down the stretch. Let's go look at the wide receivers in the NFC right now. So Boseman as the number 1 receiver with 3,000 yards, 39 touchdowns on the year right now. Sheldon Warwick he's the number 1. He's wide receiver 1 over there for the Arizona Cardinals, and he's literally telling these teams that's covering, I got to cover this guy. He's saying, I'm the number 1. I get the targets now. I'm the captain. That's what he's saying right now. And then Ruggs is number 3 on this list right now. And I think Ruggs had a really special year all year long. Very special year all year long because Ruggs was doing everything. With the speed that Ruggs have, since he became a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, his career took the fuck off. With that being said, Ruggs is, doing everything for this team. He can catch the possession catches. He can run after the catch. He can get you deep if, by blowing the top off your defense. He can score from anywhere on the field. They can really use him any way they want. So do you think because he had a great year, do you think he's being used the way he's supposed to be being used, or do you think they still got things they could do with this kid that they're not doing yet?
I think he still has untapped potential, but I definitely think with the 102 receptions, he's getting all the possible looks. And he's getting his speed on the field. He's got 1,000 rack yards. So
that's big, bro. 1,000 yards after the catch, run after the catch. That means, yes, I told you, he making plays for this team, bro. And he's special.
He's still using them. Yeah, he's still using them and making them special. But we know Ruggs to be woo baby. Oh my God, how the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think what he's doing is definitely special. I think it sets him up for next year
But that's
to
what
be
makes
good.
it special what Craig is doing with him because everybody and their mama that gets Henry Ruggs is that's what you're gonna see or
They
hear.
John
Ooh
Ross him.
baby,
Yeah, they John Ross him.
he
Flat
turned
out.
him into a true number one receiver though, flat out true
Exactly.
number one receiver. Like you're getting calls. Like we're getting target. Your targets is somewhere between 12 to 15 a game. That's how we looking for you. Along with a guy like Reasons over there at the tight end position and that running back, his cousin Ruggs in the backfield over there. Henry is very important to this offense and their success. And I love the fact that he was able to turn him into a true number one because most people will have him somewhere at number two or three and just running by people on shot plays, and he didn't do that. So shout out to the top three over here. But Chadwick Boseman won this award, and he did it by running by everybody 30 something yards a catch every time he touched the football. Bombs away,
Three
man.
giants up there. I don't give a fuck.
What's his nickname? I don't see a giant. Where Isaac Cannon's down here at 7. You got Smith down here, Tavon Smith. Shout out to Andy Isabella for going over 100 touchdowns in his career. But again, Hudson is back on the map.
Oh, they took Burris off. Never mind. Not three
Ding,
giants up there.
ding, woon. Oh my God, Rondell Moore is here. Isabella's here. So once again, the Cardinals sneaky ass get 3 receivers in the top 10 again.
I think
Uh,
they got
Tavon Smith is there
Burris.
and Cannon is there. No Burris.
They had Burris
Uh,
up there week 17 going into week 18, but not week 18 going into the playoffs. Damn. Snake.
Sucks to be him, dog. So we see all these receivers in the NFC. We like this receiver group. The top 10 is on her. Boastman, Ward, Ruggs, Hudson, Woon.
Bozeman don't get a nickname yet. This is first 8 games with the same damn name.
He don't get a He don't get a nickname
Yeah.
yet.
Get
He
a
don't get a
nickname.
nickname. How about Sheldon Ward? Sheldon
Um,
Ward. How about Henry Ruggs? Nickname for Ruggs?
I mean, no nickname for Ruggs yet. I like to call Sheldon Ward the one.
Like that. I like that. The one. Ain't bad. Sheldon the one Ward. I ain't nothing wrong with that. Henry Rugged. I like Rugged. We're gonna call him Henry Rugged.
Rugged. I
Henry Rugged.
like Rugged.
Henry Rugged. Let's get dirty, Bubby. How about J. Jawan Hudson? What we gonna call him?
Hmm. J. Jawan.
I call him J. Cross Hudson. J. Cross Hudson. Thing Woon. Thing Woon. Oh my God. Rondell Moore, man. Little gadget. Sir
Yeah.
Isaac Cannon Newton.
Sir Isaac.
Stankin Franklin's up here. They go Stankin Franklin. Isabella. We call him Isabella and Tavon Smith. We need to know a little bit more about him. All we
Yeah.
know is he a double digit guy. 1,000-yard receiver over there. Let's get to the AFC and look at the receivers over here. All right, who won that award? Tion Pitts, man. We call him Ski. Walking Waddle's up here. You know what I'm talking about? Walking Waddle up
Shout
here.
out to Walking Waddle again.
Yeah, still found his way at the number 2 spot right now. The Buffalo Bills and Chris Poole up here
I
pitting
think
in
I'm calling him
Twerkies.
Chris Cool.
I like it. Chris Cool. Rashad Bateman, man. Bateman. Rashad. All right, Bo Lynn for the Patriots right now, man. I got the keys. Justin Keys. I think he still needs to fit some twerky in. Hello, Jello. Jello up here. Jello Griffin. Mr. Pierre's up here. You got Anthony Schwartz. He's up here. And Adrian Carmichael. Remember, this was the fastest receiver to come out of our first draft. And I don't know. He been whooping the computer been whooping niggas ass over here with the Texans. The quarterback, all of them. We saw the quarterback throw for 600 against somebody. Went the fuck dummies on somebody's team. The CPU went crazy. All right, I like the receivers over here, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't think they're. I don't know. I think it's even. You going NFC?
Yeah, I'm going NFC.
All right, I'll ride out with you with the NFC. How about the running backs? NFC or AFC?
Go back
You
to
know
just
it.
go back real
Bro,
quick.
you know it
Yeah,
ain't even close, bro. You know it's the
I'm
AFC
gonna go
all day.
AFC. I'm gonna go AFC. I ain't gonna say it ain't close. I'm gonna just go AFC. I ain't gonna disrespect the NFC like that. I ain't
Alright,
gonna
that's a ride out
disrespect the
with you.
NFC like
Alright,
that.
so the
The AFC got it though. AFC got it though.
alright, so the offensive line is Pat Falk. Best lineman in the
Best
league.
lineman in the league. Yeah, best lineman in the
Best
league.
lineman in the league. So then you got the Baltimore Ravens at number 2. Then the best line in the league is Jermaine Bird. You got Marcus Gooden. Hold on. I know we're going to see another Jag.
They
Only
gotta
2
have a
Jags
third
up
one.
here.
Oh, two.
Are
Okay.
they the best offensive line in the league with only
They
2
still
of them
the
up
best.
here for this award? I
I
do
think
think they're
down
one of the
this.
best offensive linemen in the
I still
league,
think they
bro.
best lineman in the league. Down the stretch, the coach dealing with packing up and moving.
Right.
Just missed a couple days in the office.
Well, Baltimore has their right tackle at number 9. Baltimore has their left tackle at number 6. Baltimore has their left guard at number 2 and their right guard at number 1. Are we looking at the best line in the league? Oh my
Best
God!
line. I think they're the best line this season. I still go league. Bucks and Jags.
So this award look like it's a fucking Cardinals,
My boy Clay
Bucks,
Oates. Oh
Giants. So
shit!
Clay
My
Oates
boy
wins
Clay
that award
Oates.
right now, man. Over Worth, who's been a fucking dog.
Oh
He
shit,
could possibly be
Clay.
one of the. He might be the best lineman in the league too. He's been up here every
Clay. I
year.
mean, Worse. I'm talking about Worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Worth.
why
He's been
when
up
you
there
asked me
every
about the
year,
NFC the
man.
other time, yeah, wow. Worse is definitely one of the best linemen.
All right, so Oates, explain Oates to me. Why is he the best offensive lineman in the NFC this year?
I think just getting back to the running, this is actually a surprise for me. I ain't gonna lie. Getting back to the running though. Let me go look at something real quick. I think getting back to the running as a whole, the effect of it to the, and then just switching up the scheme a little bit. He only had allowed 1 sack on the year too, in a still pass heavy offense. I'm trying to check to see if I can look at. Can I look at pancakes? No, it's something that goes away after. It goes away after the game. Okay, but he only let up 1 sack this season, and that
That's
was
big.
week
Only
3
one?
against the Falcons. Yeah, after going against the Cowboys twice a year, the Buccaneers football team, the Cardinals, the Eagles' young emerging line, New England, whatever veterans the Bills picked up. So I think just he's getting that cred because of we have a Stanley up there who
What
let up 2
position he play?
sacks. Right guard.
If he was a tackle and only give up 1 sack, I'd be like, wow. Right
Yeah, like
guard.
what the
I'm
hell?
not mad
Yeah.
at it. That's still impressive. Don't get it fucked up. But guards can stay in single digit sacks, but them
That's why the
tackles
first
they
thing
be
I
giving them things
said
up.
was the run coming back. If you look, I think he's a lot of games. That's why I wanted to check the pancakes. A lot of games he had 4, 6, 8 pancakes. You know what I'm saying? He's just out there getting the job done. I think first and second level.
Okay. All right, so is he the best? He's the best offensive lineman in the NFC. Is he the best offensive lineman on your team with Ron Stanley sitting at 6?
No. Even Sean O'Hara, I think Sean O'Hara gets snubbed this year because we asked him to go to tackle, and he had a season of tackle, only letting up 7 sacks.
That's not bad, bro.
And we've asked him to move around a lot. From guard, he played center last year a little bit. Now he's at tackle this season.
Being able to be versatile like that
I think
is
he's
big.
our best lineman, and then kind of him and Stanley.
Okay. All right, so Worth's on this list. Bailey is on this list. 2 Buccaneers. So you got a Giant at 1. You got 2 Bucks at 2 and 3. At 4, you got the sneaky Cardinals coming in with Cameron Sears. Then you go 5 and 6. You got Cordell Freeman and you got Ronnie Stanley sitting at 5 and 6. Then you come back to the Buccaneers and Quincy Keenan is in the building. Bears sneak up here with Tyler Carr. Andrew Strong for the Cardinals, and then you got Jeremy Huntington, who I think is a sleeper offensive lineman too, because he's always up here. He actually won his award a year ago, and was in the Pro Bowl for the last 3 years. So shout out to him. But you got the Bucks with 1, 2, 3 players up here. Then you got the Cardinals with 1, 2, and then you got the Giants with 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So I don't know, man. Boy, y'all both rocking right now, but I do still think to this day the Bucks have the best offensive line in the league, and the Jaguars is right behind them. All right, let's go to the defensive line award. Goes to Mr. 28 sacks. He was 1 sack away from breaking the league's record of all time, held by Z. So they're tied right now with the number 1 sacks and the most ever sacks in a season. the #1 spot is tied with Jeremy Cumberland and Aziz, that used to be a Giant, got the record when he was a Giant, and he now plays for the Falcons. Let's see if we even gonna see his name on this list. Andrew Leonard, #2 on this list right now. Andrew Leonard is a monster. In my opinion, you know, he had a run for the last 3 years where, you know, he's lights out, bro. He's the reason why Nick Bosa's career was revived, because of what he was doing on the other side of him. Here's a name that we're going to talk about, Josh Cannon. The fact that he's back in the mix explains a lot right now. Josh Cannon, man. The Cannon family is very famous in this league, but Josh Cannon was the reason why they were very famous in this league between him and Seth. Remember that rookie year, 18 sacks as a rookie in the playoffs, playing in the playoffs, going crazy, right? Joey Bosa for the Bears is on this list, you know, where he's mentoring at the same time he's still putting in work for the Chicago Bears right now. Vicky D, Cardinals, is up there. You know, again, we seen the Cardinals with 3 guys over 20 sacks in one season. They're kind of close to that this year. They balling out. Vicky D, I think he had about 16 or 17 on the season. Pierre Ford, this is an up and coming name for the Rams right now. They as Aaron Donald's career is starting to, you know, close, Pierre Ford is starting to step up to take that new defensive pass rusher and you know, keeping them with a guy that comes off that corner or comes off that middle. He can play all 3 spots on that D line in a heartbeat, and he's really good at it. Roy Fairley, we already know he is man in the middle. Is there, you know, outside of what Ted Saragusa is doing, is there another guy in the league at D tackle that's been doing it for a while better than him?
Is Fairley better than who?
No, I'm saying outside of Ted Saragusa, because I don't think he's better than Ted Saragusa. But is there anybody
Fairley,
else that you can look at Fairley and say that is another D tackle in this league better than Fairley?
No.
Right,
And I ain't gonna lie, I was looking at his numbers when we was talking about Saragusa. They're insanely wild.
His numbers too, right?
Yes, insanely wild. In the last 4 years, because he sat the first 2 years because of a Watt. Yeah. It's literally Saragusa than him.
Okay. All right. Sammy Nichols, man. I remember when they drafted this guy.
Slept on.
Very slept on player. I remember when they drafted him. He's a baller for this team right now, man. They give the Cowboys a really good front 7 with him over there, and then they got, you know, Khalil Mack's son Kenny Jr. over there balling, or cousin Kenny Jr., not son, I'm sorry, I apologize about that. Alright, Larry Barton is a name I don't really know about. I think he's up and coming, but he's on here. And then Chase Young is in the building at #10. So they're your pass rushers in the NFC. We like these names on here. Some of these guys gonna have, you know, their career is in play right now, where they're, you know, they're taking they're leveling up, you know what I mean, and some of them are closing it out, like, you know, Joey Bosa. Alright, in the AFC, your pass rushers are as follows. Saragusa has the award locked. Eric Bowden, man, whoever takes this Chief team, whatever coach gets to get hired at this Kansas City Chiefs team, they're coming into a better situation than they had when they first started the league, and here's why. This team is a full circle team now. Whoever takes this team is coming into an explosive offense. They're going to only crosshairs they're going to have is Patrick Mahomes sealing over with. Is it almost time to get rid of Patrick Mahomes and go in a new direction? Or can you squeeze another 3 years out of Patrick Mahomes? That's the question. I mean, I've never seen Patrick Mahomes throw as many picks as he threw this year. I mean, in our game alone, he threw me 10. So I think, you know, that arm is starting to become oodles and noodles beef pack. He been throwing that shit too much right now. Shit soggy as hell. He ain't throwing that thing no more. But whoever take over this team got the weapons, got the running back and the weapons from tight end to receiver. They have a solid offensive line, but they also got a good defense. And that's what they didn't have in the first 3 years of Coach Rich DeBarber coaching this team. He never had the defense. It sucks that now he has the defense. He's not going to be able to see it play itself out. And they fired his ass last night. Andy Reid got fired. Eric Bowden is a dog. He was winning this award all year up until, you know, week 18 and lost it. But Eric Bowden is sitting there too. Nick Nasty, man, he's been consistent. And then Colt Young. Colt Young is going to be a problem the moment Corey start to play. He's a problem now, just the computer being a problem with him. But he's going to be a problem when Corey start to play with him. When he start using him and doing things with him is on. Keyshawn Peppers, man, he's coming into it. He's a man child. He's coming into his own. 17 in sacks this year. balling out, and he did 17. Whereas on the other side, you had 16 sacks, and then in the middle was Saragusa with 15. So these guys was getting to the quarterback all year in Baltimore. P.J. Leonard, one of the top defensive ends to come out his draft class. The Steelers are in good hands. So when they pass the torch with T.J. Watt on the way out the door, they got a guy that they can hang their hat on. Bradley Chubb, old man Bradley. I don't know how much longer he's going to be doing this, but he's been a double-digit guy every year since Jimbo took these Broncos over. And look, at 13-4, and this guy number 7 on this list, he's still playing at a high level, being in the league as long as he has been. Petey Bower, man, explosive, fast, come around that corner when he come, man. Florida State pedigree, you know how that goes. But he's been balling out. The question is, he's been balling out since he got in the league. So I can't say this is a complete defensive line thing. I think he's that good, right? But he's in a situation where you got a guy on the other side of you who's that good and a man in the middle. So these guys still, are unlimited in far as where they can go. Their ceiling is super high because they're all still young. Jose Cuervo. I mean, he's been an animal from day one. This guy came in the league with double-digit sacks on star. And it took him a couple seasons to go up from that star to a superstar, to an X Factor. He is a dog. Speed. This was one of the fastest defensive ends that came out of our draft up into the Petey Bower year. He was, 89 speed, 89 excel. That was lights out speed at the time. He surpassed that. He developed a little better. We just need to see the users deal with this kid. And Quentin Williams, man, these face guys, man, the Broncos do a really good job with the face players. When you look at the defensive line as a whole over in the AFC and the NFC, they both are solid. Linebackers, the number 1 linebacker in the AFC who won this award is Odafe Oweh. The Baltimore Ravens are cleaning up the awards this year, bro. I don't know if that's a good thing, though.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
I definitely don't think we're not going to go no further than that. When you look at the linebackers over here, I will say this. You got good guys over here. I'm not going to say it, but what's scary again, if you are a guy that's not in the league yet and you're looking for a team in our league right now and you just keep seeing these Chiefs popping up, now you believe me when I say they're in a good situation. You got Cliff Odoms, number 2. You got the Terminator, Devon White, number 4. And you go down to Ben Middleton, the man in the middle, at number 8. They got some linebackers over here, man. Zay Collins, Cardinals, Ravens for a day, went back to the Cardinals. Now he's a Bill. So Zavon Collins is number 9. This is what Hoodie do. Take your castaways and make them still play. Javier Thorpe for the Raiders is up here as well. Shout out to this linebacker core, but don't think it's better than NFC's linebacker core. Devon White, Devin Bush, Micah Parsons. Need I say anything else? Jesus Christ. Alan Reed, Tyler White, Isaiah Simmons, Tim Galloway, Jet Black, Wesley Snipes, and Aziz Ojulari. Y'all got the better linebackers, right?
Yeah.
By far. I'm just going to keep it 100. It's not even close. This linebacker core is fucking disgusting. But y'all don't got the best DBs.
I think they pulled all our young DBs this year, and I don't get that shit.
Alright, so Orlando Jordan, diaper dandy. Chris Samuel, diaper dandy. Keith David, old as hell face-wise, but really regular player. He's young enough to do some things. Murphy Bunton is the oldest corner on the list right now, and he's balling out. And he's on his way to a career number 2 if he continue to play at the high level like that. Kai Fo is back in the building. We haven't seen him since season 1 go crazy. Tay Gowan, we haven't seen him since season 1. You know what? We have seen him. I think we ignore how good he really has been for the Cardinals and consistent he's been with the Cardinals because of everything else they got going on over there. You forget that they got a solid secondary as well. And Tay Cohen's been holding his own and shutting down number 1 receivers since he stepped foot in the NFL. So I think his numbers is going to tell it all. Like, if you go to him, you could probably see. I think he had that 1 year where nobody was throwing to him after his rookie year. Sophomore year, he really wasn't getting tried. And then you had no choice but to throw it to wherever you thought somebody was open at. And 9 out of 10, when you thought somebody was open on his side, it wasn't, because he hit triangle button by tapping that bitch or holding it, picking your stupid ass right off. So we saw one of the cannons that started off the cannon run. Josh Cannon up here. Now we're looking at Seth Cannon up this bitch. Why is Seth Cannon number 7 on this list?
I think just having Ace around and simplifying the back end to Ace and McCoy just gave him um, more of a lead role. He's stepping into that lead role to show guys, how to get it done, kind of.
I like Seth Cannon, man. I think he's a clean player, man. I think he's a suit and tie guy type player, man. He professional as fuck. And I call him the professional. Because he do everything right, man. Says all the right shit, plays all the right ways, never out of position, always where he needs to be. And he knows how to get everybody else involved. Shout out to the professional Seth Cannon, who we'll see tonight. How about Chase Bailey, man? Listen, when we started the league, the Panthers had a number one corner over there. By the time we started to shift around, that number one corner is on every and anybody's roster, but not his. Joe Horn, right? Joe Horn's son.
Yeah.
What was it? J.C. Horn, Casey Horn, whatever the fuck, J.C. Horn. Joe Horn's little son and shit. But Chase, it's like, y'all got Joe Horn's son, now y'all getting motherfucking Champ Bailey's son, and he's balling for them. Number 8 on this list, they got themselves a true shutdown corner. Idris Elba. Is this guy not is he a rookie?
Give me 2 seconds.
He's got a man named Idris Elba.
Yes, he
That's
does.
Funny.
Fucking, he got the potential James Bond.
Free safety, 70 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 10 interceptions, 9 pass deflections.
He balling. That's a lot of pass deflections from the safety position. Carlton Davis, another veteran. Looks like them Bucks veterans are still playing at a high level. Carlton said, I don't care if I ain't on the Bucks anymore. I'm the number one corner over here for Philadelphia, where I got to go up against Tree Owens, who's fucking 6'5", and a pain in the ass. Then I got to go up against the 2 towers over there in New York that you want to see me deal with tonight. 2 towers. And you don't even forget about the football team and their receiver core. 2 towers. Max.
Yep.
We just looked at the awards. We just had an in-depth conversation about the guys that won an award and certain guys in each position and all that. You're looking at the NFC DBs. They look pretty good over here. You got some veterans going along with some guys that, that's up and coming. But when you look at the AFC, there's no better defensive backs in the league than the AFC. Steve Israel, dog. Stearns could possibly be the best safety in the league. Except for when you go look at Najee. Then you say, maybe not. Then you be like, wait, well, Najee's the best safety in the league. And then you come down to Andre Sisco and say, well, maybe he might be the best safety in the league. Then you look at the Diaper Dandy and be like, I don't know, man, who's doing it better than him. It's all over the place. Raymond Riaz plays sub linebacker and back deep with the speed. Sean Wade, we already know about him and what he's been for the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Aaron Ridley, one of the fastest safeties to come out in the first 2 drafts. He was a speed demon. He's being used now. He has a coach that really respects him back there. I keep looking at Steiner and say Donovan Steiner,
Hold on.
Anthony Israel.
3 Jags, 2 Bills.
He said Cisco and Steiner the best safety combo in the league.
I won't comment on that.
Why not?
Because it could be, but I won't comment on that.
Okay, let's go back. Go ahead. What you was about to say about what?
We got 2 Bills, 3 Jags, 1 Browns, and 4 or 5 Ravens. What the fuck is this? Hey, DB Gate.
DB Gate.
And
So
one
we
of
got-
the Jags DBs is 2 of the Jags
Two of the
DBs
Jags
is
DBs is ex-Ravens.
DB Gate.
DB Gate.
DB Gate.
DB Gate.
DB Gate.
Oh my
fuck
God,
that.
DB
Fuck
Gate in the
it.
AFC right now. Jesus Christ, all Ravens. It's a Charm
Fuck
City
that.
alert. Ah man, we got one of the best.
DB
We got one of the best DB coaches in the league, man. Flat out, man. He's a dog, man. And everybody love playing for him. DB
Hey,
Gate.
DB,
Steve
I was not
Israel.
hearing that shit. DB Gate.
DB Gate. Look, you go to the NFC though. Look, watch this. You go to the NFC. You talking about DB Gate? Hold on, you ready to crack the fuck up? Ready? Go down. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna tell you when to stop. Hold up. Where you at? Where that motherfucker at? There you go. Old Raven, DB Gate. I just don't know why he changed his name. DB Gate. That's definitely an old Raven though. Trust me. DB
Oh
Gate.
man.
Oh Lord, DB Gate in the building. So how many Ravens up here? Steve Israel 1, Najee Israel 2. Keep on going down. We only got 3. Anthony Israel 3. Steiner, Wade,
Wade. That's 5.
Cisco.
6. And then
Cisco
Keith
don't belong
Davis
to me.
7. Oh, I was about
Yep,
to say
Cisco
Keith
don't belong to
Davis.
me.
Man, look, you never know nowadays. This shit get hectic. DB Gate, and then you keep David 6.
So he called
6, 7.
Steiner. Look, he called Steiner and Cisco the best safety combo in the league.
I'm willing to entertain it. It definitely is an argument. They're cool.
Yeah, I don't think I could say. I mean, we got Ed Reed and Najee, but we rotate too many. We got too many other rotates. Najee's the only consistent one that don't get rotated. All the other safeties, they Ed Reed, Anthony Adams play a little bit of safety.
I don't know who
Ron
fuck other
Israel.
safety is, but Croswell do a lot on his damn own too. So
Yeah, he do.
I gotta,
He be balling out. He do a whole lot. I don't know, but I mean, just looking at the names though, Steiner and motherfucking Cisco, might not have an argument there. Like, might not get an argument out of me. My boy Snake said, gotta look at the defensive passing yards before you call them the top DB combo. Laughing out loud. He like, fuck that. I got some Cowboys that could be in that conversation too. I don't know. They ain't on this list though. I ain't see a fucking Cowboy on this list. Where you been at anyway, man? You done taking a nap? Jesus. Look though, the DBs in the AFC better than y'all weak ass DBs over there.
Hey man, look, I can't speak nothing about DBs. We don't even know who our number 1 cornerback is.
Right, y'all have no idea who your number 1 cornerback is.
Yeah, but
There's no better combo cornerback tandem in the league than the Israel Steve in the eye. Hey. Oh my God, they out here going crazy. I ain't saying nothing about them cowgirls.
It says 11. Washington. Everybody type Skadimes in the chat. I'm gonna tell you how to spell it.
Skadimes.
Skadimes. Skadimes.
Skadimes.
Skadimes in the chat.
Oh my God, Skadimes. We're talking about Skadimes. All right, real fast. The passing leader this year, 7,401 yards, was Kyler Murray. The touchdown leader, we don't need to go no further than Kyler Murray. All right, that's that. The rushing leader this year was 2,915 yards, Tremaine Bass. The receiving leader this year was 3,337 yards, Chadwick Boseman. The touchdown leader in receivers this year was none other than Tion Pitts. When you go look at the defensive side of things, the man that had the most tackles in the league that's not a computer team is Devon Gaffney for the Rams. 145 of them things. The guy that had the most tackle for losses in the league is 36 with Ted Saragusa. Jacksonville Ravens, laughing out loud. Oh God. Sacks. The most sacks in the league are held by the kid Jeremy Cumberland with 28. Nick Nasty had 19 though. Young had 17 and a half. They was balling right there. The guy that had the most interceptions in the league was 15, Orlando Brown. Stearns had 14. Keith David had 14. Steve had 13. Samuel had 13. White had 13. Najee had 13. Oh my God. Murphy Button Jr. had 13. Alright, cool. The deflection king of this year is 14 from Jalen Ramsey. Fucking disrespectful, Jalen. Take a nap. The fuck? Y'all are disrespecting motherfuckers. Who else? Kerry Vincent Jr. had 14 of them things. Israel AI. Look at my 2 corners, bro. 93 tackles for AI, 4 tackles for losses. He had a sack and 9 interceptions. He had 13 deflections. You take anything to the crib?
Send one of them.
One to the he threw 1 to the crib. Right? I'm showing it. Steve Israel, 87 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. Send one of them where?
New York.
New York. New York. What you got for me? We could do that. What you got for me? 12 sacks. You ain't getting him though. He had 87 tackles, 12 sacks, 13 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? And 4 of them things went to the crib. Balling. All right, that's your defensive player guys right now. Let's see who fucking killed people all year. Where them motherfucking force fumbles at?
Did we see who threw the most picks?
Yo, Cuba Gooding Jr., man. He called 6 fumbles out this bitch, though. Ew. Cowboys, Tyler White.
What the fuck is going on with
4 of
these
them
games?
shits. He crazy with them names. You know, Cuba gay ass ain't no fucking linebacker. He the nigga that started punching air at the motherfucking,
It's a lot of fours.
after Ricky died. And shit. Instead of getting some pussy, he start crying and punching the air and shit. Well, boys in the hood, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Alright.
I was about to say.
Welcome to Skidames! Rasul, Rahim, Raskoman right now. We're talking about those guys that are on the block right now in the trade chat. Max, give me the first name that we should be talking about, buddy.
Alright, I ain't gonna lie. First name I feel like we should be talking about is a couple of names. It's more of an onslaught. I would like to talk about the Colts special safeties. That's what I'm gonna categorize them.
Just sparked it.
Yeah, there's 2 of them that I think could be very much potential guys for other people to go be star guys if they understand what they can get out of these 2 type of guys.
Okay. You got multiple guys on the block?
It's multiple, but that's why I call them special safeties, because I want to focus more on this position group and then the rest. You know what I'm saying?
Looking at the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts. Deontay Griffin.
Oh wow. I wonder why your ass not being there to still fight for them playoffs right now. Keep getting rid of these guys all young, man. What the fuck? Go ahead. I'm listening. We're going to the Colts.
We got Deontay Griffin at
on a block. Deontay Griffin. So you're looking at a guy 6'3", 219 pounds. Deontay Griffin can play sub linebacker for you, or he can play back deep for you. 27 years old. He is, 27, where some guys frown upon the age, but me, I'm not frowning upon this in this situation, because safeties are safety. Simple as that. This kid can do a lot for you for the next 3 years. Next 3 to 4 years, especially if he's still playing at a high level once he gets to year 3. 91 speed, 97 excel. He's agile as shit. 96 agile, which doesn't match up with the change of direction at 88. You would think that would be in the 90s too, as agile as he is. But 92 awareness, that's what you want on a safety. This is what he loses if he does make this trade. He loses a guy who AI is so high on threshold wise that he can make plays for him without him, doing anything. You don't have to use this guy. He's going to always be in the right spots all the time. 93 zone, 76 man. You would like his man to be a little bit closer to that zone, but yet at 27 years old, you click on this guy and you look at his box right now, and it doesn't really cost him that much to get. Or am I saying 14,000 points? That's not bad. You can still work that into being able to get his man and zone coverage a little better. I like the zone coverage, but that's what you ask him to do. He's not coming down in the system where he's forced to play cover 0 and play man to man. He's in the situation where he plays zone, so he's a great zone safety. You take a look at him, 88 hit power. He could thump with the best of them. 94 tackling with the +3 arrow up. 96 pursuit. You're not getting away from him. He'll chase you the fuck down in a heartbeat, right? 75 block shed. He gets around blocks. He ain't bad. 82 catching. The kid's tough as the ox right now. This is a good player. If I'm a guy that's looking for that veteran, that guy to be able to, sit there and play while you got another safety, you can put him in the sub linebacker box, he will be special there. In my opinion, he can play deep with no issues, but to put him at the sub linebacker spot, if you got another safety on your team and you need that one more safety to better use him in different situations, he becomes a great user at the safety position. Honestly, if this guy really is trading this guy should be knocking his door down for him. At 27 years old, you can bargain.
Sub linebacker, yeah, you can do something bro. It's a lot, bro.
You can bargain with this guy because he's 27. I don't know if he needs to be re-signed or anything like that. But at 27 years old, that could be your argument. If I'm a guy that if I'm a guy that I would. If I'm a guy, I don't know who he can go to, but if I'm a guy that's looking for a safety, right, and you planning on drafting that safety in this draft, then you're an idiot. Because when you look at here's why. Just hear me out. When you look at these Colts, they're sitting at number 13 in this draft. So if I'm, watch this, just follow me for a second.
And to answer, he does not have to be signed. He's got 3 years left on his contract, which will
All
take him
right,
right
so if
into
I'm
the third.
somebody like the Titans, right, and I look at my safety group right now, and I'm looking at a 30-year-old and another 27-year-old that you got in a trade with Snake, and then you look at your strong safety group, and you're looking at, you know, you're young there, but you got 30-year-old here, and then a couple of guys, kind of young there too. Maybe not him. Let's keep looking. Who else? Let's keep looking at somebody that picks before him. Let's go. Vikings, no. Bears, no. Bengals. Smoochie Wiley. Bates is 31. All right, so like this would be a good spot right here. Like if I'm you know 31-year-old Bates is gone, I'm a guy like the Bengals. You know, if I'm looking at a safety, I'm looking to trade and you know maybe you know swap seconds with him. Or you can even be on some swap first shit with him and you're only moving back to 13, but you can get something else out of that deal, you know what I mean, to work something. Like, that's how you work it, right? You're looking at a team that, you know, got a pick in front of him that might can use a safety right now and can drop back a couple of picks just to get that safety. And as I look at teams right now, I'm just going through them. I know the Chargers, like, well, how about the Chargers? Because Baby Boy getting old over here. You look like, all right, Andrew Joyner, not on ability. Yep, here's a spot for him for sure. Because if it's anybody that can flip this is Corey, because Corey will be picking at 11 in this draft, and you can move up a pick just from 11 to 13. I don't know how much you can work this out because there's only two spots. 12, 13. There's only 2 spots down, but he could use that safety. If you can work something there, I don't see, you know. Really don't see too much of a workspace there. Ideally, the new Chiefs that came in, but he wasn't better trade right away. So you're looking at, let's see where you at, Falcons. And the Falcons, I think they got safeties. McDonald, they got one. Let me see a safety. Barely over here. Antonio Cheeks, who's really a corner.
I would say the Jets.
The Jets. I like the Falcons too. The Falcons could use a player like this, man, because you getting a player that's a high 90. You don't have nobody in your secondary in the 90s yet, like except for McDonald. Here, babe, take this with you while you here. Now think about this. You look at draft picks. He picking at 8. He moved back to 13 and get himself, you know, a safety that he's playing both situations, sub linebacker package, and he's still in a situation where you're not really moving back that far. You're outside of the top 10, but you get that type of safety on your roster right now, that 27 that you got for the next 3 years, 4 years for sure, and you still picking at 13. That's a high pick still to be able to bust moves and get some shit out of the deal right now. I would do that. But I would motherfucking be like, look, I'll send you the 8th pick, you send me the 13th pick, you send me that safety, but you send me your 3rd round pick too. Now you got 2 picks and a player, so you know, move back in the draft, you get an extra pick and an extra player, in my opinion. That's where I would be at if I'm the Falcons, but, you know, some guys just don't see things that way, and it's no big deal if he doesn't, but that's what I would do. The Jets wouldn't better trade at all if he wanted to right now. Another team that likes safeties is the Lions. They love safeties, right? The Lions love safeties, so even they might look at it like they have, you know, they might look at them like they have safeties already, and they kind of did fill that void last year. They picked up Raheem Wagner, but what's better than to bring him in a box and then bring that guy in? Jerry Jacobs is 84 overall. He's always been good for this team, but yet he's 29 years old and only 84 overall. How bad would that be to move on? Now, the only problem here would be you're looking at going from 13 to 5, so something else got to give in that situation. If I'm Mike, if he had a lineman on the block, I would send the lineman and him over to the Lions for a trade for this 5 to 13. The Lions always can use a lineman, right? They always can use a lineman, and they always love safety. So honestly, I wouldn't go no further than right here to get down to 5, flat out. And you go from, and the Lions only go back to 13. That's a perfect spot to get a Griffin at safety on this team. I mean, it works for me. That's what I would see. It will work all day for me. I'm pulling the trigger on that because you have a great free safety in Bobby Wagner that you drafted last year. Brahim Wagner, I'm sorry, that you drafted last year. He's a fucking man child. So imagine bringing Deontay over here and you able to just flip these two at either or, sub linebacker or safety. They always on the field at all times. You get a great pick. You replace the Jerry Jacobs, who really at 5'10", 203, only at 84 overall. He hasn't developed at all for you. He has solid speed, 90 and 93, and he has an ability, but he hasn't done anything, as far as development wise. You look at a guy that has 83 with the arrows down awareness, he's going to get beat a lot when you play good teams that understand how to beat, threshold under the threshold guys. So you bring a threshold guy in like that safety that Mike has at 27 years old. That's a win because you're going from 5 to 13, but you're getting more things out of that. So if the Falcons can get a third and that 13th pick for this safety, imagine what the 5th pick can get. So I'll be looking for 2 players in the draft pick for sure to move that many spots down. But I think he has the firepower to do it. And that puts Mike in a good situation, but it puts him weak at safety at the same time. But he can probably cover that because he do got a linebacker that's a slash linebacker safety that he can do the same thing with Stringer. So if you trade him, then you leave Stringer on his roster until you find that next safety. So to me, if I'm Mike, I'm on the phone with the Lions. If I'm Lions, I'm on the phone with Mike. See if you can work that out. If that can be worked out, then that goes down, and both teams walk out with situations that make them a lot better. Because just think about Brahim Wagner at safety, and then look at the 2 strong safeties, Sheldon Randall and Zeke Webb. You got guys that can go anywhere on the defense. They can play safety back deep. They can play sub linebacker for you. You really can make things happen. So now you got 2 safeties that can play in the sub packages in your nickel and dimes, and 2 safeties that have good enough speed to still play back deep. So if I'm the Lions and I pull the trigger on this deal, Sheldon Randall will be a sub linebacker for me, and then I would decide between Brahim Wagner and Mike's safety, at who's going to play the other sub linebacker for me, and then the other one stand back deep. Brahim Wagner is a true linebacker in true fashion. At Florida State, he played more linebacker than he played safety, so that would be the ideal situation. Move him down to the sub package, right? You keep Mike's corner. What's his name? Deontay what? Like safety. Move Deontay Griffin to the free, right? And then you got Zeke Webb, and you got the other one that got 80-something speed over there, Sheldon. You could put him at sub package as well, and you can get jig with that shit. I would love to see this move happen. I think they should get on the phone with each other right now and really work that out. What makes the trade great is if the Lions can capitalize on, I'm giving you the 5th pick. I'm giving you a top 5 pick for pick 13. You're not moving back that far, right? But you are moving to the middle pack of the draft, 13, a little bit in front of the middle pack of the draft. There's 3 picks out of the top 10. That's not bad, but you can get a lot out of that. Like, meaning Mike got to come up off of something. You want to get to 5, you got to make it work for me moving from 5 to 13. And I think he got the firepower to do it, man. I definitely think he got the firepower to do it. When you're the Lions and you barely have time to play because of your work schedule in your college, you're a full-time student, a full-time worker. You don't have time to be developing players right now, so you need to get a player right now that can be plugged and play. So when you do play, he's already AI efficient. Best move right there. Let's talk. Raheem Skadimes, holler at me. Send him to me. Send him to me.
I got best. I think might be one of the biggest markets. I named him at 1 because I just feel like he's a versatile player. But this next name, we have earlier in the season, around week 12, reports of Harold Street, the Panthers' starting running back, on the block.
Really?
25 years old. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Harold
Wow.
fucking Street on the block.
Wow. All right, so they could do this, and they could do this because they do have Mike Washington to hold them down. The problem with Mike Washington is 185 pounds. The way this team play football, I don't think they're in a situation. Well, nah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ty Jacobs is sitting right here too. All right, so in my opinion, I like this, but you got to be willing to, this. You got to get something for this. This guy is a problem.
This is a problem.
What makes this the problem is this, because most guys see good running backs on the block and don't even budge on them, which is dumb as fuck. I can go to one team right now that can use him in a heartbeat right now. All right, so I'll stop right here at the Browns. Nick Chubb is 30 years old. None of these backs behind Nick Chubb is even worth putting on the field at all. I know it's a rain game, so you're seeing the speed down right now, right? So you don't really see their true speed because it's a rain game. Let's see if I can get to their true speed by going to ratings real fast. And it's not going to show me they're down +8. Alright, so they're down +8. I like this move, though, and I don't want this to happen in my division, but imagine going from Nick Chubb to Howell Street. Right? Alright, so let's keep moving right now. I would say the Chargers could use him too at 31, and it's the funny part. The Chargers could use him, and they can make up for what they didn't do with the with Saquon Barkley, because Howell Street is going to demand the football. You're not going to just throw him the ball in the flat all game long. You got to give him the fucking football. If the Chargers were to pull the trigger on Howell Street, this would turn their season around real fast when they bring the beat back. Let's look at this team. For 2 years in a row, they tanked. They didn't finish their season. They lost a lot of development with the players that they got over there. They have a big-time receiver over there already in Jermaine Pierre, and they drafted a speed burner over there already. So you look at their offense right now, and the one thing they're going to be missing is a running back, period. They got Jeremy Cook, who will not touch the field, bottom line. Saquon is 31 years old. It's starting to get to the point where, you fucked up on that trade. You really didn't get the value of what he could have did for you in that small window, and then the opportunities you had, you really didn't play. Hal Streets comes over right now and becomes the starter of this offense, and it saves you the aggravation of having to get your passing game back in track while guys is teeing off on you for throwing the ball because they don't respect you in the run game. Hal Streets literally can get you 5 yards of carry just running forward. Simple as that. You bring him in the fold right now, you just change the entire offense and set yourself up for real draft real easy, because they're very young at their skill positions. Pierre is only 26. I don't care about Wallace being 29. I care about Rashawn Hendricks being the next weapon over here at 6'3", 220 pounds, running a 98 speed, 98 XL. They lost a big-time receiver in McDonald already from this roster, and they got a whole bunch of guys they're going to end up cutting anyway. So now you go get a Howell Street, right? You look at Tylan Wallace as a guy that has to be replaced. You already drafted a running back and receiver last year, Rashawn Hendricks, in the first round. I think they can come back and get a dog at receiver if they pull the trigger on Howell Street, though, because they're picking at 11, right? And the Panthers aren't a playoff team either. So how far do they drop back? Let's go, Panthers. All right, so you're going back 3 spots, bro. 3 spots. And in 3 spots, it's about 14 receivers that'll be sitting right there for you to take at any moment to give you 3 strong out receiver, and in the process of that, you go get you a running back. Now, to get Howell Street, you're gonna come up off of something, right? So you might not even be able to swap first-round picks. Is there anything you have on your roster, that the Panthers are looking for? I don't know. I'm not through his roster, so I wouldn't better say that. Yes to that. I don't think a receiver is in your cards to be given up. Do they need a receiver? I don't think they need a receiver. They already got there. For what they do offensively, they are that receiver. So I would look at maybe offensive line and something on defense right now, right? You bring in Colt Young. They getting a little old here with Brian Burns, right? So they can probably use a defensive end. You go back to the Chargers and see if they got any linebackers or DNs that they could convert to linebacker and make something happen right now. I like this. Pat Roll is the guy you could send to help them out on their D-line for sure. Although you need him, but I would take the chances on it, right? You keep looking at Harold Streets. You keep looking for maybe a linebacker that can go. That's young enough to play. I don't know. Maybe you got a corner over here that you can get off. Like, it got to be something you got to better give back, right? I like this Jeremy Kilgore. He's a safety turned to linebacker, which is no problem, but he's young. He's only in his 2nd year. You could develop that into something. Speed talks about anything right now. They got a lot of holes, but they got a lot of DBs over here too. So maybe they're getting long in the tooth over here, but they can manage it right now. Like, all their corners is kind of old, so it's really, I don't see nothing there that they can really. He would have to work something out, maybe a future pick, a future first swap. So I don't know. It would be something, but he will look good there. Howell Street will really look good there. I just don't know if the Chargers, they haven't really managed their roster well. I don't know if they'll be able to give the Panthers what they want to put this piece in place. You look at the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs backfield. I like one of their running backs. They could probably use it, depending on who comes in to coach it. A coach that like to run the ball would take that in a heartbeat. Shit. Who else?
I said the Vikings kinda.
I like the
Because they
Eagles
fucked
too.
up with that fullback and the Eagles, but the Eagles got the young rookie, but it's just like,
As
I
I'm
think the
looking,
Vikings in the way because they fucked up with that fullback.
you know who
running back
else
shit.
I wouldn't mind seeing this with right here? Jacksonville Jaguars.
I was gonna say
Travis
them because
Etienne is 28 years old. Gunn's got a lot of shit over here that can lead his team in a heartbeat to make that work. He got this team is loaded. They got a lot of shit over here. You can go. It's like going to going Christmas shopping for real. You could do a lot. I love the fact that imagine fucking Harold Street here while Etienne is starting to wind down this season. And you go on a real draft with him behind Etienne. I'm taking that all day. I'm taking that all day, bro. All day. I like that. I like that move here.
So now he get freaky.
Yeah, the new Jets could probably use it. This is a good move right here for the Panthers too. If you could find a way, we get a new Jets coach in here, or is the old coach is going to be drafting and then he leaves? I don't know. But I know Antonio Gibson, he got the most out of him when he did make the trade for him, but now he's 30 years old. It's time to reload at the running back position
Browns,
here.
Chargers.
I like Bone. It's a few teams, man. There's a few teams over here. Shit, if I'm Nano, I'm trying to pull this trigger.
I was just gonna say, I was about to
If
say,
I'm Nano, I'm pulling that trigger too, for real. Nano, I'm pulling the trigger. Shit, I would. Shit, if I'm the Seahawks, I might even be thinking about it too. If I'm the Seahawks, you got George Nelson who catch the ball really well out the backfield. You went and got Brandon Jacobs at your power back. Imagine getting Streets over here along with it. I wouldn't be scared to pull the trigger here. Let's see where they're picking that.
Like the Titans can too, because you fumbled with Tyson, so you could
19, ninth pick 19. Yeah. It might not be the draft pick. It might be the players over here, and the Seahawks loaded too. They got the players that can influence this trade too. I like them too because they give them a 1-2 punch in the backfield. Two different style running backs, man.
Hottest commodity though. Harold Street's got to find a home.
Najee Harris is 30 years old. They dealing with Herschel Walker. They like him. I think he's up and coming. They wouldn't need to bust that move. Texans just drafted the number 1 running back in the draft in Whitfield, so they wouldn't need this move. I don't think the Titans need to do it. I think they're fine because I like this Wyrick kid down here. He's all right already. Yeah. And then the next team is the Vikings. The Vikings. If I'm the Vikings, I'm saying fuck that. All the rest of y'all, you talking about all these other guys, he coming right here. So to me, Browns, Jaguars, Chargers don't have got the real firepower to get him. But like the Browns will really put themselves in a great situation bringing him in. But the Vikings could change their entire fortune around right away with a guy like that. Flat out. And then they loaded. They got pieces they can. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm him, that same move you was ready to do with this kid, Eli Berry, I'll send him to the fucking Panthers and be like, Eli Berry and maybe a swap first or second or something like that. Where you picking that? You picking that 21 in the playoffs? You can't swap firsts or seconds. Nope. I would give him. You ain't got no shit. I would give him. Man. I don't know, but I like the Eli Berry going to the Panthers, bro. That gives them a strong defensive player that they can move. I know you don't, cause you want him. So I like him there, though. Shit, I was saying, cause look, he was going to trade him to me, so he really doesn't, hold too much value for him. He don't care. He was going to get rid of him to me. Now with that being said, you look at the cornerbacks. You got Champ Bailey, you got Thaddeus Dunbar, right? And then you bring in fucking Eli Berry at the third corner and can play safety at any moment. Man. And then you giving him that type of player, right? So you're not like this is a good trade, damn near by itself. Running back for cornerback, because you got a tweener, you got a guy that defy our rules. He can play either position, safety or corner. I would work that angle and maybe throw him a 4th round pick this year, 4th round next year, and try to get that thing done. If I'm the Panthers, I'm taking that all day. Because they got the backfield and they're gonna draft anyway. If they want to trade Streaks, that means they seen something in the draft they want. I like it. That might be the best trade. That might be the best fucking player on the block right now. It's fucking crazy. Harold Streets?
Hmm.
Damn, man, Rasul, you've been missing out on a lot of shit. What's up there next, man? What else is going on?
I'm gonna go to my division, and Trevon Diggs has reportedly been on the block
Who?
about midway. Trevon Diggs, cornerback. He was
Trevon
reported.
Diggs.
Yes, he was
Trayvon
reportedly.
Diggs. Oh, Trayvon Diggs. Let's go look at him.
Him, apparently him and maybe Marlon. I don't know. There's some optics up in the air. You know, it seems like the Cowboys are doing an overhaul kind of at the cornerback room. So I
So
think
this is
it's
a hard situation because if I'm an up and coming team, I don't know if I want a 28-year-old corner if I'm up and coming team. But if I'm a team like the Chargers or some of these teams that's right there on the cusp, like the Raiders, this would be a great spot for the Raiders. This would be a great trade for the Raiders because you ain't coming up off your first or your second, but you can come up off a third this year, third next year type shit, and put
he's
you in a
94 speed,
situation.
95 excel for people
Exactly,
that are
his speed
probably.
is down right now because of the snow game, right? So I'm not concerned with that at all. Those red hours are down because they playing in the blizzard. But I'll bring him in if I'm the Ravens. But this buys you a year, right? And in a draft where it's still deep at corner, you can still go get a young corner and have him on train mode behind Trayvon Diggs. I really think the
I mean,
Raiders
just look
could
at what the
benefit from
Eagles
this.
did with Carlton. He's still playing
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
well. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. When you're looking at a younger player
The
though,
Giants
Trayvon
with Marco.
Diggs.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
like
Yes, sir. I'm busting this move, and I'm gonna go third this year, third next. And the only reason why I'm asking for a third this year, third next, because he's a superstar X factor, and that might be pushing it. It might not get it done with the rules committee because he is an X factor. But the 28-year-old mark on this guy, knowing we're going into the real draft, will probably get that done. So I will go third this year, third next year on the Raiders. Right? I will bring him in, pair him up with the one kid you had already. That's a pretty much dog that we put the ability on, and you raising while you draft another corner this draft. You get another guy somewhere in the fourth round, and you bring him in, and then you ride it out like that, and it gives you some time to really, get back until you get to. You don't lose nothing in the first or second round anyway, because you're gonna get what you want there anyway. So you're picking. The Raiders is picking high in the first round, second round, so they can still get a dog corner, and then now they three deep at the corner. Now what happens is they get the right corner, they get three guys with abilities back there that can play for them, and they was doing work well, no abilities on their cornerbacks, and they put in work and made the playoffs. And they get three now. It's a big difference. And Trayvon Diggs is a game changer. He's been a game changer the entire time he's been there at the Cowboys, for the Cowboys. So I don't think that changes. And Las Vegas, especially a team that's going to play with momentum all the time. When you're a running team the way the Raiders run the ball, they're not losing momentum, so their defense ain't going to be getting walked by guys off of turnovers and dumb shit because they don't give the ball up, because they don't fumble. They run the ball all game long. So imagine that defense not being tired. A veteran like Trayvon Diggs, who has 97 awareness, who comes into it with speed, excel, great coverage, all that shit. Everything is locked. He comes in and plays very well all the time because he's never tired, because the Raiders put down 12 play drives, 8 play drives every time they get the ball. And this team comes in fresh on defense, and you got a shut down corner that you can use for the next 3 years. The moment that kid that kid becomes 31 years old, 30 years old, I'm hitting the rules chat up saying, asking, can I move him to safety? Simple as that.
hmm
So I like that. Go ahead. Let's talk
Interesting.
about it. What else is up
Yes.
there?
Let's see. Let me look through. Let me look through. Uh, Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Drew has 49ers coach has posted this particular left tackle a couple times. I think he's very young in age. Signed, developed Josh Wilkerson. Uh, I think in a league where guys still don't have full superstar offensive linemen, I feel like it's unacceptable for for you not to go get certain linemen, just in period
Well,
of
the question
time.
is this: is a superstar?
Yeah.
Well, then anybody in the league that don't have 5 superstar linemen could use this lineman. It's just that simple.
That's why it's like we don't really gotta harp too
You
much
don't have
on
to
him.
even look at him. If he's a superstar, what age is he?
25.
All right, 25-year-old on superstar. You don't have 5 superstars on your line right now. That's a trade for you. That's anybody. Work it out. Simple as that. Who's next?
I would say young Tyrone Pierce. It's two 23-year-olds, 23 tandem. Tyrone Pierce and Beckham Cruz for the New York Giants. Now Tyrone plays middle
The middle
linebacker.
linebacker, Tyrone Pierce.
Absolutely.
He's on the block.
He is seldomly on the block. It's just a systematic thing.
He's seldomly on the block. Here you go with this seldom shit. He's tired as hell. He's seldomly on the block always. He's a fucking idiot. He's seldomly on the block always.
Look, he's a limited.
He's seldomly on the block all the time. All right, what's his true speed in the cell?
I think he went. I want to say 9. Let me look. I think he like 90. Alright, he's 90 Excel, 89 speed.
Alright, so 90 Excel, 89 speed, 6'3", 246, only in his 3rd year. Once this season is over, he completes that 3rd season. I'm pulling the trigger, but I'm a guy that if I'm pulling this trigger, you gotta see, this is how guys gotta understand how to move. You gotta look at the job before you even think about it. If you're interested in a draft, giving up a draft pick, first you look at him and then you look at what he got. He don't have space to do anything at all, right? Don't worry about that 4th that's already traded. Don't worry about it. So he don't have space to do shit. So think about this right now. I offer 2 things if I'm somebody looking to get this kid. I got a 6 and a 7 for you this year. I got a 5, 6 and a 7 for you this year. He'll probably turn that down. I don't know. So then you just keep going and be like, all right, 1st, 2nd, you got 2/3 already. You don't got a 4th. Now you start working the draft pick angle first, right? And then you see what he wants future wise for this guy. Then if that's not the case, then you start looking at players that you're willing to move, find out what he want player wise, and then you go from there. But I'm telling you right now, if you need a linebacker, this is the guy to go get. He's a special player, special talent. He's coming off a really good football team. He's the reason why Von Teller has been moved to outside linebacker. So why he's making this trade, I have no idea. This is just him being a greedy guy. He wants to keep moving pieces and shit because he think he the Baltimore Ravens. Bottom line, because he's a fucking idiot for trying to get rid of Tyrone Pierce. And I don't care if you on headset with me. I'm just telling you facts right now. You got a 23-year-old who's a dog. His owls is down because it's the weather game, and really he's probably in the high 90s, mid 90s and something. And you want to off this guy for what reason? I don't know. Then you put yourself at 1 linebacker, and that just tells me flat out, you off him, you got a linebacker need in this draft. You got the picks to better move around, so I'm not mad at it, but like I'm just not getting rid of a person like that at all. Like he has nothing but upside room for being to develop him. So if I'm a guy that need a middle linebacker or even an outside linebacker, whatever the case you need, you got a linebacker need on your team, you come take this linebacker and get yourself a steal because he wants to draft a million motherfuckers. Simple as that. And you got a guy you ain't got to worry about completely developing. He already in the 90s, past the threshold. Anything else is just positive development from this guy. And that's that. Wait for a gift or 2. Wait for me to go speed excel gift and throw that shit on him and shit, and then make him a complete monster. Something he should have been did. Simple as that. So if you're in a linebacker situation, Jaguars, not the Colts, they draft linebackers like they fucking pitting on new draws. Who else? There's some linebacker needs in this league right now, man. Pull the trigger. We need
another linebacker over here.
Oh my god, this motherfucker crazy. But yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that pick. I mean, I like this player that's on the block right now because this is somebody's man in the middle right now. Guys just can't be scared to pull a trigger, bro. You gotta better pull a trigger. All right, and make sure you win on the trade just as well as he trying to win. So you gotta play to who he is. He's a greedy guy. He want more. All he want to do is keep looking at his team all day long and making changes. So let him make the change on your behalf. You fuck his roster up and go grab a person that he gotta replace for the next 2 years, and you good. Simple as that. Next person.
Move down to the receiver. I see a lot of 25s, 26 receivers on the block. I feel like people stay away from those, so I feel like targeted is kept. There's a 23-year-old receiver on the block in the high speed thresholds, just looking for a home to really pop. Um, he's not gonna find it in New York. I think they've shown this year that he's not gonna be a thing that's really a move forward kind of guy. You know, they show every year they can get whatever receiver they want involved, and he is yet in 2 seasons to really touch the ball at all. So I feel like it's one of those situations where somebody can maybe make a guy out of this guy. Uh, he's at threshold, almost to 88 overall at 23 years old. So I just feel like, you know, there's more to offer than 26, 27, 25 even, like when you got 23 years old. So
All right, so Beckham Cruz is a guy that was thought to be, you know, a guy for this team to play slot receiver for them and all that, and they didn't see the emergence of Tavon Smith stepping up. And that's all this is. This is a guy that literally didn't get an opportunity to play for them. Plus, the Giants are in the move. They about to get Puhana from the Ravens, so they're looking to offer receiver right now. So, and the quest of that, knowing that they great get a guy, this is a guy that they just need to get rid of. So you can get this guy cheap, right? Future pick. Get yourself a slot receiver once he comes off all these reds because of the snow game. Then you get to really see what his true value really is. And this guy can play slot for a guy like the Chargers, who got a 29-year-old in the slot right now. You know what I'm saying? Guys that really can use the number 3 receiver and really use the number 3 receiver. I think he can go fit in a lot of places in this league. But you got to ask yourself, you know, what you're willing to give him. He can't get much. He has 1 million picks in the next 2 draft classes. So what can you squeeze out of it? You know what I mean, a future 4th, that would be lovely. And ride out with that shit. I'm out of here. Future 4th, let's go. Or maybe a player, or you know, I don't know. Maybe 2 picks too, like, you know what I mean, maybe a 4th and a 4th next year. But he can't get that. So this is why I'm saying you put him in a situation where he got to make room so you still a player. Simple as that. 6'1", 193. The Broncos could use a guy like this because they old as hell at receiver. So they can use a guy like this. They came and got a guy from you like this last time. They can use it again. There's some guys that can use this guy right here. And you just got to play the game. You know, I just showed y'all the Giants is greedy as fuck. You got all draft picks right now. So in this situation, you're in the control of this trade. And he wants to make room for it, right? But he knows he's about to lose some of them draft picks as well. So he ain't gonna let you rape him. Right, at all. He ain't about to let you rape him because he's trying to make up for what he's about to lose coming to Baltimore and getting Puhana, almost an untradeable piece that I would never give up. But I'm not gonna give him to somebody that I don't think will do something with him. Damn, you about to get Cuzzo. Did I talk about that too early? Shit.
Skadibble, Skadimes,
Skadimes, Rasul, Raheem, Skadimes. Damn, Puhana on his way. Rest in peace, Cuzzo. He on his way to New York.
Let me see if I'm doing my due diligence. Let me go back in the trade chat. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Okay, hold on.
What about that running back Nuna East over there? He ain't on the block?
We saw no reports. We saw no reports of that, or Stokes, or JK. We tried to interview with the New England coach. You know, they seldom the interviews. We tried to get into an interview with them about.
Seldom, always.
Seldom to get an interview with New England coach, man. They're over there trying to talk them into, you know, what's the future look like, you know, in the backfield. Are you happy with Stokes all the way? You know, they declined every interview with us. So, I think, honestly, I could still say, hold on, let me do my due diligence real quick. Hold on, before I say their names. No, let me look. Not them.
I like a trade that's great go down at the end of the season and shit. The Rams are coming to get Martin Johnson, the cornerback for Baltimore Ravens. I like that. They swapping picks, future first, second round pick this year, future first, and they got something else coming along with that shit and that pick, right? You look at the Ravens, you look at what Martin Johnson has meant for this team. He hasn't really seen the field at all this year. They don't really play him. Once they decided he was getting traded, they kind of put him on the shelf a little bit. He has 29 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 interceptions this year. But in his last 3 seasons from sophomore year, 14 picks the year before in 2025. He had 9 last year, 2026. Crowded cornerback room. They make a room for something special over here, right? But Martin Johnson is on his way to Los Angeles Rams in a situation where they can flat out use a corner with Jalen Ramsey, being of age right now. So you get a tall 6'3", rangy corner, right? Jalen Ramsey at 6'1" at 31 years old. Quandre Bly is the guy over here. They picked up Marquise Blackshire, right? Rochelle is fast, but he's 30 years old, right? Now you bring in 6'3", a kid that's veteran, that's going to come over here and move over to be your number one. Now you're covering. This is the type of DBs and size and speed you need in the NFC East. What they about to have, right? Quandre Bly goes to your number 2. Blackshire continues to develop at your number 3, and then Martin Johnson comes over here and he's your best corner on your roster right now. Ramsey had the keys to be able to go to safety. He moved him back to corner, but he could play at safety. We gave him the go on that. A guy like that, we want to see him end his career like Charles Woodson did, Rod Woodson did. We're cool with that. So as long as 31-year-old Ramsey's on the roster, he could move him to safety, but once he moves him there, he has to keep him there. And with that being said, you bring in Martin Johnson right now. Now you got 3 corners, 6'3" and above, all running right now. Really good secondary, in my opinion. Great move.
I definitely think it's a great move. I think they're keeping that relationship knit with the Ravens, and timing their roster accordingly. Not to the Ravens, but understanding that the Ravens, they're understanding their relationships every year per with the teams that they're trading with. A little bit of relationship with the Giants, with a little bit with the Cardinals in the division, the Ravens. I think they're keeping their doors open, but they're keeping a tenured of players that they want there. They're not allowing just anybody to come on their roster.
I mean, they got Hammer. They got Hammer in that trade last year. They got motherfucking Calvin Johnson Jr. in that trade last year. They also got was one more player that they got in that trade. Like they got the middle linebacker. So let's just look at their roster for a second and just see how they developing, right? So you go back in their relationship with the Ravens. Charlie Ward Jr. They got their starting quarterback. At the end of the day, he's still only 26 years old. It seemed like they traded him a long time ago. He's here, right? And you look at their backfield. Womack came from Baltimore. He's there. Freddie Womack, superstar, came from that roster. But they got E.B. Savage, who's the new running back here. That Cam Akers, 29. We'll see how that goes. At the receiver position, they bring in Calvin Johnson Jr. He's only 24 years old, 6'5", 215. Dog. They can do some shit with that. Then you go look on the defensive side of things. Joey Leach, you got Ford. In my opinion, I'm looking for my guy. Where he at? If they still got him at all. I don't know if they still got the kid. Let's see. They moved him to middle linebacker. Charles Snowden, 30 years old now. They moved him to middle linebacker. I'm not mad at that at middle linebacker. Why? Because from defensive end, outside linebacker / DN, he got 75 zone. He can cover. I will probably still put his hand in the dirt. I don't know why. I will probably make him, put his hand in the dirt for sure. We're looking for my other linebacker. Where he go? Did he change his name? Yep, Emmanuel Thumper. He had to change his name. Here you go, right here. I think this was what was my linebacker? Royale. Remember Royale? This was him. Let me see. Is he yep? Nah, was it him? Where the fuck is Royale at, bruh? The fuck he do with Royale? Maybe that's Thumper. Maybe change his name to Thumper.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he had to change his name to Thumper. That's Royale right there. It's gotta be, cause 6'4", yep. 6'4", 235. That's Royale right there. All right. So I mean, and then hold up. Where the fuck? Nah, hold up. Where the fuck is Hammer at?
Safety back.
Oh yeah, he moved him to safety.
Yeah, he back at safety.
Now, Max, I would move him back to outside linebacker if I was him. Here's why. I'm looking at the right outside linebacker. I like Tevin Henderson, but I would move Henderson to the middle and get Snowden out of there. I'll bring Hammer back down to the middle linebacker and move Snowden down, put his hand in the dirt. Let him end his career at defense end. Yeah, we got to talk. We got to move some things around over here, buddy. Oh my God. Yes,
I got like 1, 2 more maybe.
Alright.
See, the thing is, guys gonna be like, damn, all this love to the Colts, but I look through it, there's not a lot of people putting people on the block. The Colts do have some guys. I think they got this nice young left end. What's his name? Right past it. Shaq Bonds. 24 years old.
Alright, so like, it's nothing else to talk about if he got him on a block. You're dealing with a 93 overall at 24 years old. You're dealing with a guy with 89 speed, 91 excel. Ideally, this is what you want at 6'6", 273. This is a win. 91 strength. You got the arrows up. Fine. Block shed, and you got room for improvement. He's only 3 years in, out of Penn State. It's not going to cost you much to get him developed. 8,000 exactly. So you can still develop this guy in a heartbeat. Man, this might even be. This is just as good of a player as that safety he's trying to trade. It might even be better.
I gotta show the love.
You can't tell me it ain't the 2018s in this league that can't use a defensive end like
not
this.
All y'all even got superstar D linemen or can go too deep. Y'all are all like situational D linemen or something. So it's just.
I would trade him and the motherfucking safety to the Lions, and now you control the draft the situation. Now you fuck around and get a pick out of it now. Nah, not really. 13. Well, he coming from 13, and usually I come from like 28, 30, from somewhere between 28 to 31. So I can see why I off as much as I off. That's a long jump. 13-5 is not seriously that bad. It's good. It's a good move, but it's not that bad. So maybe Shaq Bonds and that safety goes over to the Lions, and that gets you right where you need to be at. You don't lose shit. You loaded at this line at the end. You got so many damn linebackers. You can move one of them to the end at any point, anytime you want. I would put this on the block instead of trying to be greedy and look for another team to trade for. Just take the safety at 27 and this player at 24, send him to the Lions for a swap first, and be done with it, and then you get your player. It's just that simple. Like, it's that easy. It's that simple.
I think that'll really wrap up the Skadimes. Not a lot of guys really put people on the block consistently.
Not only is that going to wrap up the Skadimes, we're going to cut this show short. We're coming back with the family affair. We got to get to it, but we've been on for a very long time. A very interesting show. And I heard it was a game being played right now. Is that true? Have we seen a playoff game being started already? Browns and the Bills?
Bills and Browns, yep. 26-13 Bills.
26-13 Bills? They rocking right now. Who got it up?
Browns to score. Junkyard put it up in the chat.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to watch that. Lights out game. All right, fellas. As you can see, y'all spent some time with us. We love it. Appreciate it. We'll get all shit done that we need to get done. And here's the franchise guru, man. We started this thing off at like 11 something, didn't we? Earlier than that, we've been on this bitch for 3 of them things. Holla at us. Hit Max up. Send those players over to him. You heard? We're out of here.